Oh god, I'm sorry. Right. Go here.
Hey, what is up?
No, don't want to listen to myself. You. If you are asked us to peel an orange for you, I'd peel an orange for you, I guess. Why? Why can you not peel your own oranges? Like, it seems a little dramatic. Seems like a bit of a stretch. Oh, sweetheart, would you peel this orange for us? Oh, no, I don't like peeling oranges. Oh, so if I was hanging off a cliff, you would just let us die. All right. Y'all are crazy. He just wants your food, man. Once upon a time, a little man. No. No. We don't play that game here. Damn it. Exu Calamity. Where? Great, you bite my wires, and I will have to cook you up. Oh, I was doing a reaction to the Exandria Calamity wrap-up video. What's up, William? Anonym. God, I can't speak. Anonym. Well, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The dog loves it, man. Don't lie. What is up, my dude? Folin? Folin? I don't want it. Don't. Why? Stop it. That's just. No. Why?
Wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I've come to need protection. He's come to think, what is that screeching noise going through my ears right now? Pacia, welcome back. Changed my name from some random dude. Oh, yeah, of course I remember you. With a name like some random dude, how could I forget? Faye works. Epic.
Everybody leave now while you have a chance.
It's too late. Once you come in here, you're here to stay. Alright, Ella, you're a big nerd, girl. Oh, Ella, she put on a story that she was playing Fortnite, so I called her a nerd. She put it on a story, and I called her a nerd, and then said, no, I'm not. Which I think we all know is a huge lie. If you play Fortnite, you're a nerd. Sorry if I've just disrespected everybody here. Tim, what is up, my dude? Welcome, 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 welcome. But I'm going for a smoke with my roommate. God damn it, Tim! You've been at 2 seconds, man. You need to kick that habit. It's disgusting. Yeah, normally I would have like a little bit of background music on. But the last time we did that, you know, when it was when it was copyrighted stuff, it completely crashed my stream, which I didn't realize they could do. I thought it would just be demonetized, but no. They broke my stream for a little while. Exandria? Yeah. No. Because they're cool like that.
I was gonna say, because if it did, you wouldn't be up
And
there.
then, what happened? Oh, I put on a big playlist. It was like 2 hours long of just uncopyrighted music, supposedly. Completely wrong, because I still got wrong. Disgraceful. I've heard rumors that Critical Role might this into a movie on Prime. Exandria? Ooh! Oh my god. We'd have to watch it. Now you don't have to sit through...
I wouldn't sit
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Wow. You've changed. I don't make your noodles one time and that's it.
Yeah, I hold it grudge.
God damn.
I want to say something. I don't even like Naruto. It's all a lie.
Don't listen to her. She lies. Just gonna be lurking in this stream. 1, because I haven't seen Calamity, and 2, because I'm just finishing up Star Wars Rebels. Nerd!
Definitely.
Sorry,
Definitely
William.
grudge.
Yeah, I played non-copyrighted music last time, or what was supposedly non-copyrighted music last time, and still it was like, nope,
And
you
got us
can't
wrong,
play that.
Rebel. You got us the wrong one.
What do
You
you mean?
got me a dinner can with no dot on
It was the only goddamn can there was, woman.
Yes, no dot. You know what that means? It's less tasty.
That doesn't even make sense. What, you think they just stamped the extra tasty
the
ones?
TikTok girls know that a Red Bull for dot means a nicer Red Bull.
You and your theories are nuts.
Go nuts to butts.
I am nuts to butts action. Thank you very much. Thank you for realizing. Oh my god. Can't do that. Gonna get me banned.
I'm not on the camera.
Disgusting.
I'll make you some money. I'm not on the camera.
Oh god.
What do you think? What
We
do
just
you
doubled up. I mean, a lot of other people do it, so why not?
think? A lot of other people sit in something less revealing
Right, guys, how should we do it? I don't know.
than that. Do it like a brother. Do it like a dude.
Okay. See, I could put it like this. Can I theater mode it on here like that?
No.
See, I could put it like this, but then I could just have it the way I normally have it when I do my reactions. I don't know. 'Cause then you're just dealing with my face for like 2 hours, which is just nobody wants that.
Don't try to please everyone. You're good enough.
God damn
You're
green
good
sausages away from me.
You're good enough.
Thank you. If a Calamity movie does happen, though, it won't be the same if Brennan isn't Asmodeus. Yeah, true. I mean, he's a really good voice actor, to be fair with you. Oh, he's definitely saying that one.
Yes.
I also have a red versus blue video that's coming out. I will be
Actually-
putting it on to render after the stream. I just didn't have time to render it before the stream, unfortunately. So if anyone's interested in watch the red versus blue videos, don't worry, they will be out soon. Where's the fan that made those rumors? It came from knowing that Prime gave them a movie deal. It doesn't increase last month, as Marisha said that they were planning something big for the 10th anniversary next year. But if it's true, though, if it's true, I will be so goddamn hyped. I have to live through the pain again, but you know what it is? Fucking worth it, man. Absolutely worth it. No, I haven't finished season 10. I had an hour left. And basically, I do mention this in the video, but because I had to like cut it a bit. So I had an hour left, so I was like, right, I'll pretty much blast out the last hour. Sorry, half an hour, because the someone was coming to microchip Grey, which he didn't appreciate, by the way. Just to let you know, he's in a huff with us now. But yeah, it was like 4:45, and she was like, right, I'll come along for 5:30. So I was like, grand. I'll quickly go and get my video done, get it out of the way. Perfect. I got 5 minutes into the video, and Demi rang me. She was like, all right, bit of a problem. I was like, what's wrong? She's like, she's on her way now. I was like, oh, grand, fantastic. So I had to end it, quickly run, get the money out that we needed for her, and then wait for her to come microchip him, and then I got back to the video. So,
I'll have like, you know, emotional support.
yeah, apparently so.
He's emotionally
He's such a
damaged.
baby.
But if I stay sweet,
So yeah, it's not the end of season 10. I got to the part where the ship crashes into the planet when Carolina and Tex are fighting. It's a bit of a spoiler for you if you plan on watching it, but that's the bit that I got up to, and then the last half an hour is going to be hopefully some super juicy stuff's gonna come down. I think we're just sort of manifesting it into being, like the animated series. Well, you know, when you try to get, like, how much did they try and get for it? It was like half a million or something, and they ended up grossing a ridiculous amount, or it was like 75,000 or some shit. Yeah, I can't remember. Prepare tissues for no, don't say that. I already have a feeling like something's going to happen to Epsilon/Church, possibly, because I did see the part where everyone's kind of against him now when he got like super pissed at everybody and grew like kind of like the Grinch's heart grew like 3 sizes too big. It was nuts. But I said it in the video as well. You know you fucked up when even Caboose, your brother in arms, your best friend, god damn it, walks away from you without saying a single word. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, they wanted 750k and ended up with like 12 million, which is absolutely insane. Which just goes to show like how well received Critical Role is. I just can't wait for the Mighty 9. That I'm so looking forward to it. I donated $50. Oh, very nice. I donated nothing because I didn't know Vox Machina and Critical Role existed until both seasons were already completed. Awesome. Right, I'll try that. Get a bit smaller. Smaller, Ryan. Smaller. There we go. Nope, stop. No, you're going too far.
Like always, we're too far.
Stop being so dramatic.
Tell the chat what you did.
I RKO'd you one time.
No. The noodles.
Oh my good god.
I don't care
those
about
fucking
anything.
noodles, man.
Oh.
Right, so get this, right? So she goes, because she likes the way I make noodles. She has these spicy stir-fry noodles that she loves from the shop. So she got like 10 packets because she couldn't find them for ages. Finally found them. So she was like, ha, I'm going all out. Bought 10 packets and I usually make them for her. So she comes along. She goes, can you make us some noodles? So I joked on. I was like, no, man, I'm not making the goddamn noodles. And then she was like, fine, you know what it is? Fine, I don't even want them anymore. I'm going to have a pot noodle. And then I went, look, if you want us to make them, I'll make... No, it's fine. I'll have a pot noodle. And I was like, you've got like 3 seconds to change your mind. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with a pot noodle. No, it's fine. And then she comes in here. She sits in here for like 10 minutes. Right, like, you know, a few minutes before I'm going to start my stream, she goes, can you make us some noodles? And I'm like, no. Nope, you lost your chance. It's about principle.
It was like 10 minutes before you stream.
It's about principle. And she made them herself anyways. She's a great cook. She loves it.
No, I like the way you make them.
I am a chef, to be fair. Oh, you're on episode 28 of the Mighty 9 campaign? Oh, damn. Banging. It's such a time investment, though. I mean, I know you can literally just have it on in the background. Shut your goddamn mouth, woman. But, yeah, I hear people have been sort of semi-complaining about Hell's Bells. Purely because of... What was it? Oh, apparently they had just been kind of like getting a lot like off track and stuff like that a bunch. And also whenever they're in a pinch, like a level 20, you know, Vox Machina character appears or something to give them a hand, or I'm assuming the Mighty Nine's also still in that universe, right? So or like maybe one of them appears or some shit like that.
I keep doing that for my brain, only put one hand and not the other. And before I just did it there. So I had it like that, right? So you sniff around this one, that one. He stuck his tongue right in and just opened behind anyways and got the trigger. You're disgusting.
Oh, I would love. Oh, I would have loved to have went to the live show in London town. It would have been great.
What?
To go to the live show for
This is the greatest.
definitely not. It would have just been me and William because Demi doesn't watch Critical Role, so she would have no clue what was going on.
I need a babysit.
And yeah, you need a babysit. All right, before we start the video, does anyone want to see the dog?
No.
Gray?
Hey.
Gray, come here. What's this, little lad? Gray, what have I got? You say, what is this, father? What do you have? Gray!
He's getting
Pop it
bigger
on the
and bigger
face.
every time.
Look at that. Look at the
how
size
big
of him.
he is.
Huge.
How big
Little
he is.
boy. What do you like to say? He's in a huff. Oh, you're in a huff still. I'm exposing you to the world. Don't be mean. Show them that you love me. Show them that you love me.
What's he doing here?
Give me a kiss, please.
He's just sitting there like, what
I know.
the
Ah.
hell?
Ah.
Hey.
No.
Wait, the camera can see.
Exactly. Gotcha. You've been exposed. Mwah. Ah, little boy. Look at him.
Chunk.
Little chunk, yeah, definitely.
Little chunk.
Mwah. Right, go on then. You can explore the world.
He's like, well, why did you put me down? Look,
He's looking at us like, what's he doing?
why did you put me down?
Oh, I'm sorry, little lad. Did you want to stay up? Like,
Oh no, he's
Yeah.
enough.
you want to stay up?
He's
Hey,
enough now.
hey, what have I told you about?
That's because you put him down.
Are you back chatting me again?
What did he do?
What have I told you about that?
Oh my goodness. What did he do? Tell him what?
Goddamn
You
doggy.
tell him? Yeah. Rah, 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 rah.
He's grown since the last time. Yeah, I know. Obviously, I don't really realize when you. Obviously, I see him every day, but whenever I look back at pictures of him,
Even when we had him like 2.5, 3 weeks.
yeah,
this
3
week,
weeks, yeah.
And he's grown so much in those 3 weeks.
Bells, hells. Oh my god, I keep saying hell's
The first
bells.
time I thought we got a grey was like that one.
I know he's tiny.
Hey, stop licking the windows. We don't need
Don't be a window
here.
licker. Stop it.
Grey. Ew. No.
Sicko.
Yeah, he looks so much bigger now compared to that photo.
I know. Biggest complaint I've seen is Ashley. People seem to hate how she plays Fern. Which one's Ashley? I've seen like the odd. Sorry, let's put this back on. I've seen the odd clip from like YouTube shorts and stuff like that. So I think I know. I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it Ashley Johnson? If it is, it's the one I was thinking about. But oh yeah, the one who plays Pike, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Oh, you even got to ask them a question? Oh, that's so cool. I would love to meet the gang. They seem like such down-to-earth people. Is he just lying down again, is he?
Yeah.
Alright, people. We'll get started on this then. Oh yeah.
Well, hello.
Oh my god.
And welcome to the
I-
official wrap
Marisha, you
up
just
of
blown my eyes.
Calamity.
My eyes out? Nice.
That's
My
right.
ears out.
We'll be exploring all of the luscious lore surrounding the Ring of Brass, the fall of Avalier, and even everyone's favorite Aeorian reporter, Bolo. Don't like
Ah,
her.
Bolo!
Don't like her.
I love
The
it.
opinions. This will be a round-ish table. There's a rectangle one here. Discussion with fan questions peppered throughout. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our reflections on the apocalypse we brought about, but also maybe made just a little less worse. Maybe. And so with that in mind, I
May
think
definitely
first
not.
We should maybe just do a little quick round of introductions. I mean,
There's no There's no like intro song that plays now or something?
Make one now.
Is there
Go.
a title sequence?
And title sequence, go.
Look at Sam's fucking top.
It was so bad.
Oh dang it, I missed the start. No, we've literally just clicked play. You're good. You're good.
I got real confused.
Oh man.
That should have been our name.
Yeah.
Ring of Bass. Well, now that we're back from that amazing title sequence. Yeah,
Super humble and
yeah,
down to earth. Oh,
people
thank
know
God.
who we are if you watch 20 hours of us. But
So
I guess
I hate when people say, don't meet your heroes, and then you meet them and they're totally correct because they're actually shit. I hate them. I hate when that happens. It completely puts me off things. Like I've literally stopped watching TV series and movies and stuff like that purely because I've heard that the actor is just the worst kind of person, and I really hate it. But it's just the way I feel. I can't look at them and just separate the actor from the character anymore.
Luis, maybe let's just go around and introduce everybody. I'm Marisha Ray.
Hello, Akage. If you remember me, I'm the guy in episode 1 giving you the CR lore dumps. Oh!
Hi, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Luis.
Those thick paragraphs.
First night.
First night.
I'm not sure what camera to look into. Hi, I'm Sam Regal. I was.
Sorry, I've got to do that for everyone.
The Herald
Oh,
Tone.
hey.
Loquacious Sealy. I'm also a talented actor.
Wow. And a fun fact now. Oh, we're adding fun
So
facts.
on the third
Fun fact, he's a talented actor.
Added a new category of thing to say.
Very humble as well, if you haven't noticed.
Hey gang, I'm Brendan Lee Mulligan. I was everybody else.
And fun fact.
A fun fact, camera back. And a fun fact about me is that I am drinking a nice cup of Joe right now.
It was not. I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a fact. It was a fact.
It was a fact.
It was a fact. It was fun for him.
Also kind of a constant for you, I feel like.
Ooh. Yeah.
Run for creative fun fact. We all fucking done talking?
Give focus. Give
Yeah.
focus.
God, I love them.
Oh, okay.
There's a dance?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Oh my God, yes!
Yeah!
Hi, I'm Lou Wilson. And for the past 20 plus hours, I played Nidus Okiro, Guildmaster of the Golden Side.
Oh my goodness.
And fun fact about me,
He has nice teeth.
I've never had a piece of sashimi.
You've never had a pizza sashimi?
I've never had a pizza sashimi.
A pizza sashimi?
Yes, and I'm assuming you all have eaten pizza sashimi? I personally never had pizza sashimi.
So pizza sashimi.
I've never had it as well, so.
Sashimi is
Thank you, Brendan.
raw dough
raw pizza.
with slices of tomato,
Yes.
uncooked cheese, and uncured ham.
You've it's a classic kind of, they serve it a lot in
Shitty
Barcelona.
bruschetta.
Yeah.
It's real. Hey, it's real.
Nope,
That's
it's
real.
not real. Hey, Google it.
Guys, that's absolutely
Google
what
it.
I'm talking about.
Back row.
Are we going to me? Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Travis.
Food, right? Okay. I'm Travis Willingham. I played Sarah Agrupton. I survived.
Cerritos Groupon.
Cerritos
Yeah, the only one that did.
House, better known as.
I died.
If you Google Sarah, you'll find my real name. Fun fact, I wore a black t-shirt tonight in an effort not to get food on myself when I ate dinner.
Oh, yay!
Challenge the fates.
If anyone can get away with not being humble, it's Mr. Regal. Yeah, true.
Hi. I'm here. Hey, I'm Abria Iyengar. I played Lyran, Cora Marceli, Hierophant Adura, Architect Arcane. Fun fact about me, I don't think I've ever won a game of rock, paper, scissors ever in my life.
Wait, right now. You gotta go
Yeah.
real hard. Ready to go. You got
I'm nervous.
Throw on 3.
No one throws on 3.
Three?
Yes,
No,
on
That's
it's
crazy.
on 4.
We're gonna throw on 4.
Rock, paper,
Okay.
shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, she won! I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, you know what? I think
High five.
we won't get any better.
Hmm?
That's the highlight of tonight.
I love you.
Kids, if you
Aprea.
can, you can
She won rock, paper, scissors.
I'm actually sweating.
Nobody wants to.
Well, you guys, let's just jump into some of this hot goss.
We're just asking questions. There's no
Yeah.
format, right?
Not really.
Okay.
but I also am the one with the IFB in my ear.
Okay,
And I have a drive to move it forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
We
I
won't
have
let that happen.
margaritas waiting for me at the end.
Sure.
Of this.
All right, then kick us off.
So, everybody, knowing that this was the Calamity, did it change how you normally build your characters?
Hell yeah.
What is-
Cool.
At the end of the miniseries, give us one sentence takes on all of the players. I'm curious. Oh God. All right, I'll keep playing this. I have to think on that. I can't think off the top of my head.
I normally don't care about optimized play, but Brandon said we were probably going to die, so I decided, fuck you, absolutely not. And I worked the hardest I've ever worked to build a very cool character that could survive as long as possible.
Yeah, you min-maxed the fuck.
Oh yeah, it was
of there.
very fun when I finally saw like everyone's characters in the
Yeah, because she was a tank for being a wizard.
key differential between our two wizards, and I went, I've done a good job here. Yes,
Mm.
that's good.
That tough feat, man.
Yeah, tough is dope.
I'd say definitely Marisha. I would say my impression of her, she really gets into character. As does oh my God, what's his name? Jesus Christ, it's not Lou. Is it?
Oh, yeah, I know you're watching, but I need to look at this real quick.
Bro, I'm making a reaction out of this as well. I'm gonna have to cut things out now. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll show you later.
Ah, you've ruined it. I'm gonna have to start the stream over again.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I'm kidding, of course. No, you can show me if you want, quickly. Yes, I'd say them two, they really get into character. Not that the rest of them don't, but I always notice with Marisha, like every time she like even moves like a hand when she does this like sort of Scarlet Witch type thing. Oh, it's great.
Remember how I told
Luis.
you about someone with
Uh-huh.
yeah, I found the video what I was talking about. It's all over the video.
Absolute melt.
I tell you, this guy goes from city to city trying to
Yeah.
find like the best night out. Yeah, this is the Newcastle one. I haven't put the sound on, obviously. I don't want to keep it, yeah, because there's a lot of language.
Yeah, there's a lot of wait, how long is this on for?
I'll just skip it, but
I'll just watch afterwards. I'll just watch the whole lot.
okay. But yeah,
So Louis and Lou don't get it gets confusing. Yeah, I had a feeling that was both their names, or it's almost their names. Also, hi, welcome. Yes, I would say definitely Marisha embodies her character. But Louis, he really got into it as well, and he gets super like emotionally invested. Again, not that the rest of them don't, but I think out of everybody at the table that cried the most, he definitely cried the most and got the most emotionally invested, I would say. Which I respect the shit out of, by the way.
Oh,
With the Arcane Ward, you more than double Pacia, right?
yes.
Okay.
I had 175 functional
Yeah,
HP.
that's insane.
Functional.
Oh, he never played D&D before? Oh my god.
Myself.
Got it.
Yeah. Plus that little like workaround to rebuild the Arcane Ward with an Eldritch Adept feat. Anyway, it's the nerdiest I've ever gotten about a build.
Marisha got a lot of practicing recently.
Did you like research that? Did you,
Yeah.
like Google like how to break
Oh.
wizards?
Yes. Like lots
Yeah,
of
she
people
plays
talk about
ve-
it all the
very
time, and then
varied
I sat down with my
characters.
friend Trevor, who also is like very good at D&D, and I was like, okay, here's what I'm working with so far. Help me optimize this. And we worked for like 4 hours.
Oh,
And built a little monster.
that's sick.
When we were building out the characters, you sort of said, Brennan, friendly Mulligan GM of EXU Calamity,
Loves coffee.
you said we could just have, like, was there a limit to how many items we could have? You were just like, now I know why you said this, but you were like, yeah, just pick a bunch of magical items. And that's
And they'll definitely not kill you later
It
on.
made me feel like I was doing, like I was cheating. So I only picked like 2 very, very weak items. I think I picked like a wand of smiles.
You picked a wand
and,
of smiles?
That's
like, a
adorable.
+1 ring of protection, and I felt guilty doing that. But then I looked around at y'all. You have
Yes.
everybody had
Oh,
like
yeah.
all
I was
this
like,
shit. You had a strength of 56.
Yeah.
Yep,
You were
yep.
stacking.
Liam
you were
O'Brien,
stacking shit.
my boy Gara.
I
Hell
felt
yeah.
guilty doing it.
I've
Now
seen
I know
clips of
why.
him.
We're gonna taketh away everything that you gave us.
Don't trust Brennan gifts.
The moment that Luis like dropped in our Slack though and was like, can I take a Holy Avenger? I was like, well, he asked first, so now I feel like it's paved the way, free reign.
Well, there's another very similar to that, right? Like,
Yeah, Marisha's very like high energy. I like that about her.
The secret movers and shakers of Avalier. Can I borrow $20? Like, no, these people would be fucking loaded. They're at the height of a magical fucking civilization. They would be strapped with gear. So it was actually not only a clever ploy. It was not just me pulling the like parenting trick of someone's like, I'm running away, and you're like, good, run away. You know, and then you're like, that was not a reverse psychology thing to get you guys to not pick magical items. It was truly from a place of like when I saw Luis go ham on the magic items, I was like, yes, because it's just realistic. This is a civilization that's like, we don't need an army, we just need one guy with a belt of storm giant strength.
Storm giant strength. That's
You need the Hulk. That's what you need. The Hulk.
And when you see Xerxes fighting, you're like, yeah, believable. Like that would cover it. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I think out of everybody's fighting style, I don't even want to know what's just been happening there. Out of everybody's fighting style, as much as I love wizards in Magic, that is my jam. The way Seraph fought, the way Travis made Seraph fight, like the whole rogue aspect of it was probably my favorite. And that could just be because Seraph's a badass. Like, I know Liam plays Vax, and obviously he's a rogue, right? In Critical Role, in Campaign 1. So I'm hoping I get to see like a lot of his, because if I actually do watch the tabletop version of it, which I do plan on it, I'm hoping to see a lot of cool shit come from him, because I know he's a good player and I've seen a lot from him, so I'm really hoping. Ooh.
So anybody else want to talk about how they built their characters?
Me? Yeah. I think the build I went with, I wasn't so Calamity infused. I think I did really want to show out. I think being on Critical Role, I was like, well, I can't like show up and be like, well, I'm a bard. I was like, I couldn't.
Sam does that.
I couldn't like, I just couldn't, you know.
He was a great bard as well.
No, but I was like, I want to do, you know, because
He's great at combat descriptions. Oh, cool.
Be like, what? Bardic inspiration for you? I mean, come on. Are you kidding?
I love it because
Scanlan's hand.
That's true. I multi-classed as Warlock because, Brandon, you said that would be a good idea.
Vax hitting 4 daggers in 6 seconds, dishing out a ton of damage. You'd love it. Oh, it sounds cool.
I gotta do something other than a bard, but it's also level 14. I don't want to learn a brand new thing.
Hello, little lad.
I don't want to learn sorcerer or wizard. Like, that's complicated. So I'll do what I know. I'll be bard. And you were like, well, you could flavor it a little with something else. And I think you gave me a couple options. And Warlock sounded okay.
And gave us a really awesome connection.
It did.
Story-wise, not only for the game contained within itself, but also very timely with Ashley's character in C3, the connection to the Sealy Court.
The Sealy Court.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was well researched.
He matched everyone because the spellcasters were tapped.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, in all fairness, in this scenario, we're talking about Exandria. We're talking about the height of magic. So I think anybody that didn't use magic in this time was definitely lagging behind in terms of power. But like I said, wizards, sorcerers, magic in general, that's my jam. Everything about that. If there's ever a game that I play and magic is an option to take, I will be taking it. Even though my first run through is Skyrim, that is a game where you definitely have to, you know, have swords as well. You can run through the game, I guess, just using magic, but you're gonna have to level your destruction and everything up to max to do any damage. And yet I did. That's what I did. I tried it, and I'm not going to lie to you, it wasn't attractive. It wasn't a good look to anyone. I died so many times on... oh, what's his name? I can't remember the name of the dragon from Skyrim. Because it's Parthalax, which is the good dragon. Ah, shit, what's his name? But anyways, before you like fight him at the very end, you sort of fight him on top of a mountain, which isn't even the end fight, obviously. And I died so many goddamn times. So many times.
I'm researching
Oh, really?
and talking to Ashley about, and Or maybe it was Brennan saying, "Hey, who's your Warlock patron?" and me going to like the Critical Role wiki and just
Alduin, thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Fey creature, Fey characters in Critical Role lore, and seeing the word Sealy and being like, "Great, done."
Loquacious Sealy's a pretty goddamn cool name.
And you were like a bard.
I was a bard sorcerer.
Bard sorcerer.
Yeah.
4 levels of sorcerer, 10 levels of bard. Because I really wanted splitting spellcasting classes meant that I couldn't cast above a 5th level. But I had those, or I didn't have any spells above 5th level, but I had those spell slots. So I used magical secrets to get some sicker shit.
Yes.
That
What did you get?
that was the dragon spell, the summon dragon spirit that turned into Shaq, and the cone of cold I used on one time at the very end because we never took a rest of any kind.
Yeah.
Continue.
And so
All the GMs out there, fuck a rest. All right.
He's fine. You're a lad. I don't know. Shit, gotta go. Enjoy the rest of your wrap up. No problem at all, dude. Thank you for joining for what you did. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Wait, I have a question for the multi-class.
Alright.
This is the first time I've ever
Beware.
multi-classed. It was really fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got access to all.
I'm always
sorts of really cool
cold.
Stuff. I also used magical secrets to get some cool things. It was great. It was fun.
This is always something interesting when I think about multi-class characters. What class do you think your character started at first level?
Ooh. I picked sorcerer 4th. I was like, oh, Nidus is a magical person who like didn't really tap into that side, and so didn't grow much more. Like didn't just kind of think about himself as being magical and work with that. He instead used what little magic he had and kind of navigated it through the lifestyle he lived. So I went starting 4 levels of sorcerer, finishing 10 levels of bard.
I think similarly, Loquacious started as a warlock. I think it was only 3 levels of warlock and then 11 levels of bard when he found his calling, found his true path. And
Would love to see Sam play Warlock fully in campaign 4 if / when it happens. Be pretty goddamn cool.
Nope.
Hey, quick, Marisha, before I forget, what was Pacia's
Oh yeah.
school of magic?
Subclass, enchantment.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, my wizard, I picked illusion because I don't know what it is. There's something just badass about illusions. I play Baldur's Gate 3, and illusions is like the worst class to pick because literally you just get like minor illusion, and I think greater minor illusion or whatever it's called. So bad. But when you can actually do them yourself, when obviously you can come up with a bunch of different stuff, illusion can be so good. Taking off a different way. Oh my good God, woman! Jesus Christ! Can a man not watch his wrap up in peace? You know how many cuts I'm gonna have to do, woman? No, you're not. You're part of my pain in my ass, girl. He's lying under the table. Fine, don't blame the dog. He's a gorgeous little puppy, isn't he? God damn it. She's not sorry, she's lying. She's gonna beat me when I go off you. Brennan, Abria, and Matt have a GM show. Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, well, I haven't. I've seen like clips of it and stuff. Yeah, and I started watching it a little while ago. Yeah, it's pretty goddamn funny. Just finished up with an emergency at work. Perfect time on my drive home. Ah, dude. Well, I hope everything's all right. Illusion Wizard's a badass, but very dependent on the DM for power level. Well, my DM is a first time ever DM, so I'm hoping. Because William A is lurking around. I'm hoping I'll get away with murder. As long as I can think of something like super cool. Like I've always had this cool thought of being able to like at some point mess with someone's head by maybe like casting minor illusion or greater illusion or whatever it's called to like make it like physical, like right on me, and then also casting invisibility, so like I turn invisible but they don't notice because I made the illusion look like me and stand exactly where I'm standing, and then I can just pop off and just like do my own thing while they're sitting chatting to an illusion. My wizard is transmutation because Liam inspired me in C2. Silent image. It could be either of those. I'm not very well versed when it comes to the spells in D&D. There'll be a lot of looking up of spells whenever we get around to playing it. I'm playing a Blade Singer Wizard right now. Very fun. That's something my friend would probably play. You might want to look at the spell Mislead. Let's have a look right now. Just real quick before we get going. Oh, it's literally exactly what I've just described. Now, so there's a spell for that. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Illusion is the creative theater kid subclass. That's literally me. And I mean that quite literally. I went to uni and everything to do screen performance and acting and stuff like that. It is quite literally myself. That is what got me into D&D, because I was like, I ain't no nerd. I'm not going to be playing D&D. And then he was like, well, I mean, if you think about it, it's just acting. It's just improv. Why didn't you go and do it? And I was like, sir, you make a good point. Anna, hello, welcome. 5th level A is expensive. Yeah, I noticed that. Also, won't get that until I'm a pretty goddamn high level. Silent image is the first level that usually something illusion mages use, but it's static, so it's not the best for that. Yeah. Never played a wizard because sorcerer is my jam, but I still think they're cool. I think they're cool, but unfortunately, I think like they do take a lot of preparation to get good. Are you gonna watch the video till the end? Oh yes. Oh yeah, don't you worry. I'm not ending the stream until we finish it. Is that a challenge? 9th level spellcaster for 5th level spells. It's what we do, baby. God, that's cool. I need this. Mislead. So cool. That's such a cool spell. I can't spell. Sanding. What do we do for this one? You send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as a sender. If it knows you, you can answer it. Even through planes of existence. Ah, just fucking. God, they're too cool. Wizards, man. I need them. All right, let's go. Nope.
Yeah, she was a full-on, pure, all-the-way enchantment.
Yeah, sanding seems pretty fucking nuts. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It didn't really, because like the enchantment wizard's like perks and abilities is that you can like you can split your enchantment spells and do like multiple targets on single enchantment spells, but it just kind of didn't really become super relevant
what we were doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And by the time we were fighting, I wasn't going to be like, well, hang on, let's talk.
I do plan on watching the campaign 2 like anime when it comes out, the animation.
Like the way that I just broke the class and just made her powerful, because I wanted to have her be super knowledge based and have this orb that she had where she just stored everything, and being the leader of the library.
Too fucking strong.
Basically, like, can I just take like
Video sounds a bit quiet.
all the spells? I
No,
know
it is.
there's a limit. Can I just add like 10 more
How's that?
spells, though, so I just have a lot? And you were like, yeah, you like theoretically you could just pull from.
You're like, it will.
You could just Google it in the middle. Yeah.
You're not gonna take a nap. Go ahead.
Yeah, fine. Exactly.
Sure.
Pretty much.
There's a weird, this is a bizarre tangent, but literally to what Travis is saying about like, yeah, sure, go for it. There was that attitude of like, because I think GMs and DMs can be stingy with stuff that they don't actually need to be stingy with. You know what I mean? Like, your character is the keeper of scrolls for an entire city. You would have an infinite spell book. You would
Sounds
have
good
all
now.
the spells,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Every spell there's ever been. It would be bizarre for you not to. And I think that you need to be generous with that stuff. There was a kid at my old summer camp who was a young adventurer who was obsessed with elves. He's like an 8-year-old boy. And he was like, in the game, can I be an elf? I want to be an elf warrior. And I was like, so cute. And he came up to me and he kept asking, like, can I have a laser gun that only elves can use? And I'd be like, well, that might not. And then he came up to me and was like, can I have the power to walk on snow like Legolas? And there's that instinct you get. There's an instinct you get where you want to say no to requests. But then I looked around and I was like, it's the middle of July. And I was like, you can walk on all the snow you want. Any snow you find, walk all over it. You're a snow walking master. So like finding those things that it's like, yeah, like that's not game breaking to give someone access to all those spells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brennan's
It was cool stuff.
extremely talented.
Though. How did you walk into the Age of Arcanum and be like, absolutely no magic?
So I would love to DM or GM or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to stick with DM. I would love to do that, but I don't know. I'd consider myself pretty quick on my feet when it comes to like thinking of stuff, but thinking of like a huge. I mean, I could do like a one shot, I guess, but I would like to do like an extensive world, or like it could be a one shot of, let's say, the world that William's creating that we're playing in. In, you know, he does kind of like Exandria Calamity, where he does reference stuff that's happened in the past, and then I could create a game based off of that event. I could probably do that. It'd be pretty cool, but I think it takes a certain finesse in understanding definitely of the game to be as good as Matt and Brennan. And I've never seen Abria do like a game, like control a game, but I assume she's pretty goddamn good at it. And of course, if it's spoiler alert, because I was going to make a little poll for it, but whatever. The next one that I'm going to do is the Call of Cthulhu. So it's Taliesin that's doing that. And I watched the tiniest clip at the very beginning of it, which apparently it is his first ever DMing role, which is cool. So we get to experience that. So I don't know if I assume he's going to be good at it because he's been playing the game a long time.
I know.
Well, the character creation part kind of informed.
I just started to DM. Got my fifth session on Friday. Nice one, Tim.
Some
Very cool.
builds. I didn't do any of that shit. I just showed up, my lazy ass, to the table, and then everybody was spitting fire and had great ideas. And all of a sudden, the shape of what this could look like started.
It's not a one shot that's into a massive world. It's impossible to resist. Yeah, I bet it would be.
Kind of going counterclockwise, and everybody else had killer magic. You all were super.
I have a DM who
powerful
operates
magic.
3
You
gaming
got
groups
that
that
one
exist in
guy
the
that's
same
like
world.
Sharp, pointy things.
God.
only. Right.
Insane.
And then I asked Brennan, I was like, what's a really good investigator? Like, what would be really good at finding out details and trying to like.
She's great. She DM'd for D20 Brennan's show. The first one she did was Misfits and Magic.
The more you build that
Ooh,
out, the more you realize
cool.
you're really good at like being slippery and not getting hit. But if you do get a hit, it's one really good stank one, which was nice.
Yeah.
Which was nice. One thing I do when I build characters is I start like with an item. I don't know why.
Ooh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, I'm sure I would
when
love
build
DMing as well,
forward,
to be honest with you.
So
You just kind of have to jump into it and give it a try.
What's the store on Magnolia here that has the old wardrobe departments, like drop off?
It's a wrap.
No, it's a wrap. That's right.
We went there for Halloween one year, and they had like Dracula Untold.
boy.
And put like all these clothes there, and I found these dope greaves that were like these silver folded greaves, bought them on sale or whatever, and that was how I built Ford. Was he started with like these forearm brazier greaves, and then everything came off of that. So when it was Inquisitor Rogue time, I was like, okay, it's got to be an awesome weapon.
Oh, I forgot I paused for like 8 minutes.
What is there? And there's this Navy SEAL named Jack Carr that has these hawks, these Winkler R&D hawks that look like the craziest things you've ever seen. And I looked them up, and they're part of this Sayat Kali fighting system in the Philippines, which led to the Philippine Eagle. And so it just like rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled. And that's just how that started. But like the eyes of Avalier and being the site warden, all that stuff just came together so beautifully. And it was just nice to have one non-magic person that's just trying to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good balance.
Oh, yay!
It definitely felt like a little bit of this, like, who watches the Watchmen type of element of,
What's it like when I play the players are so fucking stupid.
Who's a little bit more grounded.
I started with what should be a one-shot that ended up being 2 sessions. Very nice.
Out of it, which was
That sounds like me. Love it.
Because we were talking about this before we actually started.
And by stupid, I mean careful, careful and heavy role playing.
When the first episode started, you guys were just in it. You were talking about your magic shit, and you were in the city, and I felt like there was a rapport among some of you. I felt like I had missed like a.
But Travis, man, getting left out.
Because you guys were just comfy and talking about the city and how it works, and I was just taking notes furiously and trying not to get lost. And it turns out
there was
some of you bitches.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I wasn't scared of you the entire time.
Oh my god!
I had a completely normal relationship with Sarah.
For those who missed,
Oh damn, I've had to dumb it down for the.
Oh yeah.
Again, like that sounds like me. We did a one-shot with the first time we ever tried playing D&D. Sorry, not playing D&D, experiencing D&D, and we started at level 3 because it was just like a really short, like I think it was like 2 hours long or something like that, like a really, really short one, where basically we woke up in this sort of like mansion and we had to try and figure out why we were there. And our DM, William, bless him, was trying to sort of guide us to a certain part to get something, and we just completely just, where he wanted us to go right, we went left every single time, and we just never got to where he wanted us to go. We did eventually get to the boss fight and stuff like that. It was great, but yeah, no, that sounds like me. Oh, there's a puzzle. All right, well, I'll cast Fireball on that puzzle and try to destroy it, and see if I can get through with sheer brute force. Which is also my problem when it comes to Baldur's Gate. I never take the diplomatic route despite being a wizard. I really should, and I always get into fights, which is never good, because as much I'm a glass cannon, all right, I die a lot.
She's everybody. There was a secret meeting. There was a secret meeting, and who was at this secret meeting?
We had a few secret meetings, but right? But I think
go.
Yeah.
And what did you guys discuss?
Kind of just how awful we were.
The door is a door, just go through it. No, you can't seduce the fish, please.
Are you?
We've been at this bridge for 3 hours.
I had gone and be like, all right, I'm gonna be a little nasty. And then we were talking, and immediately Abria and Marisha were like, we're nasty. And I was like, okay.
You ended up telling them the answer to the puzzle. Oh god.
Nastier than even I planned.
I think I could.
So much nastier. But yeah,
Could you explain what the puzzle was, if you can? Like, if it's like a really like in-depth thing, then obviously just be like, nah, it's too long. Fuck that shit. But could you explain the puzzle? I just want to see if like how difficult it would be to get through it. But again, I mean, this is where like like everybody says, chairs are public enemy number 1. This is known. I was going to say doors. No, that's where I was going to go with that one. Turns out chairs are public enemy number 1. I always thought it was doors. Or is that just that famous scene from? Is it just the first campaign, Vox Machina, where they were stuck in a door for like basically an entire session?
That's the way you say that.
What? Vox Machina. Sorry, it's Vox Machina. You happy now?
I like the Geordie boys.
It's both. C1 doors, C2 chairs, C3 all furniture. Nah, screw that. I'm not going to sit on anything. I'm going to sit on the floor. It's impressive. It truly is.
Was most of the meeting was agreeing how we were nasty and how long we'd been nasty for, and the many ways we had been nasty together.
Very good.
I'm trying to think of the nastiest stuff that came up in that meeting, because basically I was like, hey, the replenishment, this is what's supposed to happen. 25% of the city's ether is supposed to go to the Galdrashari. The other 75% supposed to go into the ground and replenish the replenishment, all of Dominus. Is that really happening, or what's happening to that city's energy?
And we were all like, yes, yeah.
And just this flurry of like the stuff. I think there was one point where it was like, I was like, okay, you tell me when I go too far.
You want to make a world where the entire world is a mimic? A mimic as in the chest creature?
Glitch and not telling anybody. And that didn't even raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
You were all like,
a good beginning.
That's fine.
Keep thinking,
That's fine.
Because those creep me out. I'm not going to lie to you.
Good. So it was the whole network of like, someone like intercepting.
Yeah, look up the chair of the Mighty Nine. Oh, let me have a look. Let me see. Yeah.
What was that one?
But the one that we did?
Yeah, was that the actual start of the one?
Yeah. I don't remember what happened, I'm not going to lie to you.
We met each other in a pub.
Yeah, I remember meeting each other in a pub, but that's about it.
But the room is
I was
not like you remember.
Just the usual then.
There's a pile of broken table shards in the far.
Up. Wait, this one's... Sorry, is this one a spoiler? Oh, it's been like 6 years. I remember that it was a puzzle from the Tomb of Annihilation book. That was relatively simple. Mimics can be any object. You know you're in a DM's shit list if they spring a door mimic on you. I don't know what... Like, the only thing that it came to mind there is, has anyone ever played Luigi's Mansion? And you get like the fake doors that are there. When you go to open them, they just sort of like fling open and just slam you against the wall. It's probably, yeah, it probably is all spoilers. I'm going to be on here, it's going to be like, so you pick up the chair to sit on at such and such's funeral as they died in the last episode. We all remember that. I'm like, ah, cool, awesome, thank you. I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying. I don't know how to cry.
Are you right? Are you crying?
Real fake doors, yeah, exactly. Alright, I'll skip watching this just on the off chance there is spoilers for campaign 2. Thank you though. I'll get to it at some point, and I'll understand in about 10 years what you mean.
With the Septarian and the whole idea behind Pacia of someone who had found a job like a Senate parliamentarian, had found this job and been like, oh, people think this is not important. It's about to be incredibly important, and I'm gonna flip this on its head. Interfacing with the entire
Corinthus, that is fucked up. That's so messed up. But don't do that. Like, William, if you're still watching, don't ever do that, please. Like, I'm a wizard, especially at low level. I will trip over a rock and I'll die. So,
Harry.
don't do that.
You're a wizard, Harry.
The video discusses a key NPC that should be kept from being spoiled. All right, cool. I'll skip it just in case. You will remember the chair. There is no forgetting it. God, how important is this chair? What is it, like fucking Eisen's chair from Bleach? Oh my god.
Don't talk about Bleach. People will give spoilers.
Too late. Interesting question. What non-magical class would you play? Out of all of them, let me have a look. Classes. So, I mean, there's someone here that I don't even know. Right, I wouldn't play Barbarian because I've got no real interest in like warrior type classes, just not my thing. Bards are pretty cool, but then I'd have to sing, and I'll probably never get invited back to to play.
What was I?
You were you not a rogue? No, you were a ranger. You were a ranger. Yeah. I'd probably be a rogue, to be honest with you. Being like stealthy and hidden is pretty goddamn cool.
What was it called?
You were an Aarakocra, yeah. What would you call it again? Kyra. Kyra the Aarakocra. Yeah, no, out of all of them, I'd probably be a rogue. It seems like the most fun for me. Like I said, I pick wizard all goddamn day. I would pick sorcerer as well, like next whenever I make a character, but it's basically the same thing. Like, I mean, like magic wise. My first character was literally a human fighter in Pathfinder. Nice. I don't want to ask about the chair. Oh my god, like, what happens with this chair, dude? All of you are like, oh my god. No, it was spelled. How do you spell Kyra? Kyra. Yeah, Kyra. Kyra. Obviously, I was just asking.
Yeah, because it meant like God.
Yeah, it meant something cool. I played a barbarian rogue who could reckless attack to give him sneak attack. God, that's so cool. See, that's what I need. I need to like delve deep into like the character creation and things that I can like do in cool combos that I can make with each character and the classes and the races and stuff that you can be. Because my first character, with me knowing like literally nothing about it, I made a wizard because I love wizards, and I made a half elf because elves and half elves are like good for wizards, and that was basically my premise. And then I just sort of try to build the character around that. Druid. Dragonborn or whatever it is.
Wealth of the city, and someone who was who like saw the vision for what Avalier could be, and was like, yeah, no amount of if you have a cause, no amount of backroom dealing is ever gonna make you question what that cause is. And then the entire technological
Munga's fun. Last session, I killed a dragon by punching through its eye. Oh my god!
We're gonna take the city. This is how we beat Aor.
That's fucked up.
Win the kind of Arcanum space race of like, okay, you guys hate the gods, other people like we look down on them. Ascension, we're gonna become an interplanar city. We're gonna become a city that trades with every other realm outside of Exandria.
Ambitions.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think it was great, and it worked out super well.
It was super gonna.
It was super good.
Yeah, theoretically it worked.
But it's but it's very funny to hear everyone talk about how the secrets were, because you guys, because this meeting has of course was like very fun and schemy and great. And I was also like, because also I didn't want to have that, I said it in the Twitter Spaces thing, but I didn't want it to be like Christmas, where it's like everyone gets the same amount of presents. Where it's like, where, you know what I mean? Where it's like, where there's sort of like, no, there's some people in this brass ring that are up to an asymmetrical amount of shady shit. And like, that's realistic, and that's going to create fun dynamics, which lo and behold, it fucking did.
I played a Sun Soul Aarakocran monk, fly speed of 90 foot and 30 foot range, punches of radiant lights. Oh shit!
You guys are having a meeting and you're like, you're nasty.
God
and then
damn.
I'm emailing with Luis every day, and he's like, yeah, my character's
no, yours is like I shoot arrows.
And he really
that is it.
about Betrayer Gods like every day.
That's very fun.
So you guys are like, we're corrupt city officials, and this guy's like, it could all burn. Maybe it burns today, tomorrow. Who knows when it burns? Like,
yeah, delightful.
Yeah.
But that's just
every time I hear anything about a cupcake in campaign 2 now, I'm gonna be like, this is it.
You saw through it.
This is the moment.
Which made sense. It's like a different level of bullshit.
I mean, it's weird to try to have an objective take on the character that you had been like sitting in for so long for sessions.
Whammied me out of nowhere.
I know that I wanted to play Redemption Paladin right away. I thought maybe a cleric, but then I was like, nah, man, I want to play a redemption paladin to the extreme.
You'll be
And
thinking
I
this is the
wanted
moment
to
quite often
just
then.
challenge
There's a lot of cupcakes in that campaign.
myself in a way too, to just like really commit to that. And
I actually know none of the
I-
characters in campaign 2.
Our exchanges were just kind of getting.
Someone had
to,
mentioned like what the characters'
makes
names
what
are, I think,
runs,
in
you know,
their
you
classes,
sort of
but
just offering and getting some sounding board stuff on what runs Xerxes, and I wanted to make a parallel between what he was experiencing as the first knight and what maybe his idea of the betrayer gods were. Like the first knight being in this tower and a really lonely experience that he never really asked for, but was kind of put on him. So in a way, he was in his own sort of like isolation. And so I wanted
Jester loves
to create
cupcakes.
something that
there will
would
be a ton, and it'll leave you
connect
guessing. Oh, it's Jester, one of the characters.
betrayer gods, and then really crazy extreme redemption paladin. And I don't know. I mean,
Matt's face is
I guess he had
when it
secrets,
happens is good, but
sure,
Marissa's is epic.
but he didn't have long-standing secrets. The dream
Really?
happened the day
Did you
of.
ever tell us?
Yeah.
No,
about
but
your-
two. There were two. There were two moments.
Oath of Deflection
Who?
Paladin.
Two.
Xerxes.
Which one? Him.
Yeah.
Don't you dare disrespect Sam Riegel by asking if that's Elon Musk.
Looks like him. This? Not on that, like, specific thing. that
Don't you dare.
It looked like him, but not on that.
Two. There were two.
Strange little human.
Oath of Deflection Paladin.
Two.
Don't worry about the characters, just worry about the
Yeah,
chair.
but-
I am worrying about the chair.
Truth and was like, and let me not tell you about.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me tell you.
True.
That
Is
motherfucker.
Demi
Two
legally
moments
blind,
that
Tim?
was
I think she might be.
It all out on the table was
I know,
the
I
second
went-
session. Why I was.
Do you want to know the
looking
C2 characters, or do you want to wait and see them yourself? No, you can let me know the characters and stuff.
It's
all good.
If I had found you,
Everyone.
I would have told you.
Where was I?
You
Boost
were
viewers for
chasing
free?
your thing.
Thank you, guy.
Walked out
No.
the second session, you had been in the bathroom with the cracked mirror.
Sam's catching strays,
And
I know,
then-
right?
Yeah, but that's when Akami Ro got murdered because I could
Yep.
see in your eyes that you wanted to spill the beans, and I was
You
like,
stopped it?
"We're not."
Yeah.
I know that was the second time. The first time was right after we spoke to Pervin. Pervon. Yes, that was and then I wanted to, instead of going back to meeting everybody, I wanted to go find you, and then I couldn't find you.
Laura Bailey
And then the
swapped from
second time
sexy,
was the zone of
confident,
truth,
vexed
but then
to
you
manic
said
pixie
no.
dream girl
And I was
Jester.
like, okay,
I can't wait for you to be shocked by the shift. She seems very versatile, I'll give her that, definitely.
I said
right.
no.
No, and I was
Well,
like,
but
okay.
it's because I only turned on you because
This
then
feels
we-
like therapy now for some reason.
Yeah. The top
I
out.
only turned on you. I never would have turned on you. No, I'm tired of this.
They were brothers in arms.
Hearing what he's saying.
I'm trying my best.
All right, you know what? Fine. I am. You know what? Okay, you know what? I am receiving this information. I'm receiving the idea that because I scolded you, which I felt terrible about, in the Zone of Truth moment that you did not reveal. But to be fair, that was seconds after you. Like other people had been like, I don't.
When
wanna do the Zone of
FCG is a
Truth,
flat
and you've
earther,
been
I
like,
wouldn't be
"What are you
surprised if
hiding?"
Elon agreed with that.
And I had to be like, okay, bro.
Yeah. It was so cool. I loved it so much because it was. I love it when
Oh,
there's like
flat
a
earthers.
scene, an exchange between you and another.
We don't have any flat earthers in here, do we?
They completely set
Shut
you
your
off
mouth.
course and into another.
Wouldn't surprise me if you were a flat
direction because
earther.
they've done a thing that changes you.
Yeah.
And I was gonna dig my heels in, but then I was like, I don't know. It really affected me to have the guy that's known me the longest call me out, and I was like, okay, it was fucking cool.
It was so good. Well, for people to know,
The
too,
bar has
like,
been
in
set.
the emails that I had with Luis, it was just. This is my first time playing with you. We had coffee before the game, and it was just like I was like, oh, this guy feels about storytelling all the ways I feel about storytelling, because you at the table got totally.
Oh my god. Longtail, you're right. Oh my god. Have you ever seen Sam Riegel and Elon Musk in the same room together? Have you ever seen Sam Riegel and Elon Musk in the same room together? No, you might be onto something. They might be the same person.
I told you.
Oh my god.
I'm smart like
Oh my god.
they look alike.
There's Jester, the Tiefling Cleric, Caleb, the Human Wizard, Molly Mac. I'm going to butcher these names, I guarantee you. The Tiefling Blood Hunter. I've seen Blood Hunter on Beyond before. These sound pretty goddamn cool. Yasha, the Asimar Barbarian, Veth, the Goblin Rogue, Boar, the Human Monk, and Fjord, the half-orc warlock, who's apparently Swedish and a Viking. Thank you, Thea. Much appreciated. I'm not a flat earther, but I am a flat mooner. Tim, I'm right there with you, because if you ever think about it, have you ever seen the other side of the moon? Is it an orb? I don't fucking think so. I was thinking, you, Elon, and Sam hang out all the time, Tim. You so... God, I wish I could hang out in your circles, man. Let's hang out in his ass, I guess. I mean, that's not really what I want, but I mean, if he wants it.
I don't think Tim wants to anyway.
Lost in the character. People watching you could be like, is Luis gone? It's only Xerxes now.
Well, shit, I didn't remove it in time.
Emails, Luis was fully of sound mind. I was getting emails like, here's what my guy thinks. He could be totally fucking wrong. Like, everything from Luis was as a collaborator, like,
all good.
Hey, man,
I would never have known.
A man who is
and I'll probably forget the names by the time I watch it anyway, so it's not like you're going to be like, how did he got it wrong.
One of the smartest things I feel like
they got it wrong
as a system did when it moved paladins from being wisdom casters to charisma casters. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it made me realize why you don't want to base morality in charisma. Right? Because you're like, the only thing the world needs is redemption, and I'm gonna do it every day.
Apparently, a guy stepped into Sam's DMs and they hit it off, and Sam invited him to play in campaign 3. Shoot your shot. Oh my god.
Yeah. And having that insight skill.
What's his Instagram?
Can be helpful. Everyone is redeemable. Are you?
I could be in here. I could be in here.
Right? Are you this person who can do this thing in this moment? And it felt like
this is my shot.
Such a thing with Xerxes.
This is it. As big as you're gonna get. So enjoy it.
Universal truth about like everyone can be saved, and didn't see the bridge to I can save anybody.
Yeah.
That never occurred to him. Of like, am I the guy for the job? And I thought that was so beautifully done.
Thanks. I had a conversation with, and I don't think every redemption paladin needs to be played this way, but again, I wanted to play one to the extreme, and that was part of the flaw that I had embedded in it. And I was like, this is an incredibly toxic trait. It's the it is that I am gonna change you, and but from such a well-meaning, heartfelt place. And
that's the problem with Xerxes. I just stopped it on the. I'm so sorry. Your face is gonna stay there for a while. Yeah, I think that was the only problem with him. He played a redemption character, like a redemption paladin. Demi, are you okay? What happened? Do you need help? You know you go dizzy when you stand up, so I don't know why do you like fling yourself up. Just be real slow about it. Yeah, but being a redemption paladin to the extreme, to the point where, I mean, he literally tried to change the father of lies. Like, come on, you couldn't possibly believe that you were ever going to do that. I mean, clearly he did, because look where we're at now. He's going to be in hell. If there is a heaven and hell in Exandria, he's going to hell forever, unfortunately. This is a deconstruction of I can fix him energy. Literally, like, look, hear me out, guys. I can fix him. Quite literally, the devil, pretty much. Don't worry. I'll fix him. I'll be back. Get into the toilet. Doing a little test. Do I have to expose you to the camera again? I'll let the people know. There are 9 hells. Yeah, I suppose. It depends which circle he went to. So did everybody see the dog at the CR panel? No. What dog? Oh.
Sword, sweet baby. Look at your sword, sweet baby.
Oh my god, is this the dog? Oh my god!
Is this a sword fight dog? Oh, good
Shake it out.
Oh, good shakies.
Oh, it's so cute! Look at that! Gray, we're gonna have to train you. We're gonna have to train you to hold a sword, my guy. We'll start small with a knife. Well, of course you can hold a cheese string.
Good dog.
Best dog. Oh, so goddamn cute. Where did that dog come from? Was that like some guy's? Was that the person that gave it the sword? Was that their dog? So you get cool dogs like that, and I just get a dog that's addicted to cheese. Ashley didn't hesitate to get out of a chair and pet the dog. So cute. Come here. Look at this. Right. Oh, my little lad. Oh wait, we're gonna have to expose you to the world. Right. What are the chances? That's cheese. See, my dog just eats cheese. Give him a sword, he'll spit in your face. Give him a treat, and he'll love it. What you little lad? Oh, this dog is food motivated if I've ever seen one. He's not taking his eyes off him. Gray, will we give you a sword? If I do, will you attack my enemies? He doesn't care. He's like, there's cheese. But Dad, there's cheese. Right, fine, be that. No, be that way. Be cheese motivated. See if I care. I don't need you.
The only layer to him, because I also wanted to play someone whose like flame of hope will never extinguish, and that those two can, be synthesized together, but they don't have to coexist. So yeah, I think that's from the get-go. I wasn't really plotting like the nastiness, but I was like, let me
the cheese tax
to this blind spot and have this person who is the most well-meaning, the goodest person in his own heart, and let's give him this like flaw and this blind spot.
Yeah, well, and you kind of talking about the flaws, because even, us sitting around the table, me, Lou, and Abria, and being like, we're gonna get nasty, in the same way of you being very cognizant of Xerxes's flaws, we were kind of in the same mindset with like, we know we're being shady and shifty, but our characters at the end of the day are like, this is justified, and we are doing it for the good of the city and the greater good. And that was, speaking of incredibly poignant, incredible life lessons.
Just give him cheese in moderation.
That Brendan talked about on
Not
that
feed him a
day,
whole string and then move on to a baby bell.
Tell your story, but ending in, the
This dog's gonna be morbidly obese for you.
Motherfucker with a cause. And it felt like so much was really rooted in that, about how you really so much of like the flaws of for Pacia especially, and Laren and Nidus, was that being blinded by their ambition. And it's not to say that they weren't evil.
Certain character
and I
building with flaws is
honestly
great.
think
Yeah, because you could base everything around that.
Evil on the spectrum character.
Rather than have it be like, oh yes, this character's this, and this, and then you build the flaws up after that.
And to try and play that calculated, manipulative, but you're doing it because you know in the end you're gonna win and you're gonna be right and everyone will fucking love you for it. That trying to be on that level of awareness. Yeah, I mean that was some damn mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
I mean these were like some pretty deep and complicated characters.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, as a player, you know what you're doing is wrong, but you also know like my person thinks that it would be right, and so there's a reason why I'm doing bad things to get good results.
Yes.
I can't tell. Does Sam look different for some reason? Has he shaved? Did he have a beard? Shut your goddamn mouth. Did Sam have a beard when he was doing Exandria? I mean, this is over obviously the course of a couple of weeks, but I don't think he looks like Elon Musk now. I can't tell. He just looks different.
Get a photo of Elon Musk.
Maybe I just wasn't. Maybe I just wasn't staring at him enough.
And yeah, it was fun to watch you all do that. I think for
He usually has a beard. That's what it is then.
Was almost it was almost the
Most annoying
opposite,
D&D player trope. Backstory says they defeated a whole army single-handedly. It's level 1.
Like he was a
An army of ants, maybe.
all the time. Like that was his surface level was like, yeah, I always lie. I'm always stretching and bending the truth to do what I want. So it's not really a surprise, but like the weird secret was that or the flaw, I guess, to Loquacious, which I sort of figured out as we were playing, was not that he was an easy liar or a good liar, but was that like he was lying to himself more than anyone else, because like he put on this this outward appearance of knowing everything, being super confident, being beloved by all, but all he wanted was very simple things, and he couldn't admit that to himself. He just wanted a lady.
Could make sense if they stopped adventuring for years. According to DMG, every year not spent adventuring, you lose a PC level. Really?
The Herald of Avalier
Interesting.
Because it
Makes sense, I guess.
bending and stretching the truth, and what he wanted to do was just like be.
My monk spent 120 years of her life in the temple of the goddess of death. The floor is being cold when it comes to death. Again, makes sense.
Covering rock shows.
That's another thing as well. If you create a character and you're just like, oh yeah, this character is this, and this, but they also have this, and it's just like completely off the beaten track and doesn't really make sense for that character, it takes away from it. But when it's actually given like substance and it's given meaning and it makes sense for the character to have this certain trait or this certain power or, I don't know, personality, so much better.
But like, and he needed to like admit that to himself. Like,
D&D is just therapy with acting and maths. Pretty much, you just get to like live out different personalities, different characters, and you can even have it like, oh, I really wish I was more open, and then bam, you can just make a character that's super out there. Let me shut up, Jesus Christ! I'm gonna send you in the other room in a minute.
In the end, right? But that's just catching him on that day. So that day he had a good day as a dad. I think the year.
Because I didn't make you noodles. It's not me being horrible. I offered 3 times.
Yeah, so
what'd you do to her? Were you guys divorced?
I just didn't pay any attention to her. So
The implication that was there was that Rain and Sarah were not doing great.
Being the dog
and
cheese.
were split up.
Was she and her sisters, or what?
yeah, she was. It was one of those things where he was obsessed with his work. He had a high station in the city, but while he had his eyes on everything else, literally everything outside of their house, it wasn't on her, and it wasn't.
It's what
on
my
the
character would
children.
do. Yeah.
She was like, this is my idea of her. She was like, I need more purpose. I'm gonna go find that elsewhere, and until there's something for me here, I won't be here. I'm sure he was like, okay, and just went back to work.
Wow.
Right, just totally blind
Rain.
and all that stuff. And so, you know, I feel like I think it's always interesting to try and put a little part of yourself into characters. And so as like a new dad, one of the things I'm always fearful of is just working so much that you'll miss parts of your life, and I definitely pay attention to my wife. But you know, you worry about.
Way to get that in there on tape.
Yeah. Love you, babe. I see you.
I love that
Heart emojis. Oh shit. Yeah,
Take care of my kid.
Just being like, you know, you don't want to miss any of that stuff. And so I think in that last day, it wasn't about who he'd been. It was like who can.
I got questioned by my friend for taking the magic initiate feat, but my connection to the Mother of Death made having hexes make sense.
There's a part of me.
Yeah,
that really
exactly.
loves
That's what I
his
mean.
Presence in the group because
It makes
there
sense for
were
the character.
shady people. And if Travis, and when you said like you pitched your character on, it's like I want to be Jor-El, I want to be the guy that gets his kids out of there. I want to be tapped into like Vespin, like there were a couple of different. Everyone made a choice that helped lift the story up. Being like I'm into the Betrayer gods, and I was like, well, they're pretty important in this time period. That's very helpful. And for you being like I'm on Vespin Chloris's trail, where it was like I was like thank God, I was like great, that's how we tie Vespin into this thing. But what I loved in terms of if you had also been a shady motherfucker, right? Then we have a group of group of people that are doing shady things. Like even Loquacious, his very first scene, he's influencing an election. Like he's not involved with the ether scheme, but this guy is shady as hell.
Sure.
He's incredibly corrupt. And having one person who, if you had also been corrupt, people watching at home would get
Agree with the comment above.
Like,
Sometimes the characters having a weird trait, flaw, or ability helps create the complete picture of them. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like,
who's good?
it doesn't necessarily have to be like you say, like min-maxing characters can be great if you're looking to make an absolute tank powerhouse of a character that you want to have for a long time. But if you're just making like, if you're planning on making a bunch of characters, then it'll get extremely boring if you're constantly trying your best to give your character everything you know you want for them, rather than what you think they would take in their story. Because that's essentially what it is. It's weird. Again, it's like metagaming. Despite it being your character in your game that you're playing, it's the character's life in this other world. And because you're like, I would really like this character to have this certain thing because that would be super cool and help us in this situation. But would your character choose that? Is it motivated within their story and their personality and everything? Maybe not. And sometimes you just gotta go with like, you know what it is? My character wouldn't do that. Which from what I've seen, because I've never actually watched the beginning of The Legend of Vox Machina. Is it Arison? Aricion? I can't remember his name. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. The guy who was in for like 27 episodes or something, and then they sort of like kicked him out. Apparently he was really bad for doing that kind of stuff. I've got a fighter with severe PTSD. He's super OP, but if his teammates go down and he goes into a frenzy, he will attack anything in range in a blind fury. See, yeah, again, it's motivated. So I assume in the backstory, he's maybe been fighting in wars, or maybe he's, you know, just had something happen to him in the past that's given him this thing. Maybe he saw his parents killed. I have no idea. I don't know your character, but could be. Also, don't forget, both are not diametrically opposed. Min-maxing and character rating are not mutually exclusive, and both can be achieved within reason. Oh, yeah, no, 100%. That's what I mean. You can make your character super... Like, that's what I'm trying to do with Enero, which is my first ever character. I want this to be, like, a really big campaign, a really long campaign, and that to be, like, my first main character that I can, like, really give life to. And I 100% want the character to be this super overpowered dude towards like the back end, especially if I ever do get to level 20 or like really high up in the teens. Then I would love to be able to max him out to be as efficient as he can be, but everything that he's done to be motivated for that character. Which is it's a hard line to walk, but it is definitely, like you say, something that can be done. Orion, yeah, Tiberius was strong and he cheated his roles. Oh yeah, he was a soldier in the World War. Well, there we go. I've seen a fair amount of tribalism between min-maxers in the RP heavy crowd. Yeah, the fallacy has to end. Yeah, but like you say, that's what I mean. Like, you can walk the thin line between, you know, metagaming and making your character super overpowered in just role-playing as that character, still having him do all this motivated stuff that still gets him to that min-maxing level. My monk has 20 wisdom, goddamn, and 18 in both dexterity and construction. Construction, Ryan. Fuck's sake.
So didn't stop Calamity.
Yeah, she's not weak, but the focus on her personality. Yeah, exactly.
One character who's like, yeah, he's not backdealing ether, he's not influencing an election, but his attention's not in the right place. And at the end of days, that matters just as much.
Yeah. And it was interesting because I wasn't privy to the Council of Three.
Trouble Troika.
I of course was.
Also, I just want to say welcome to everybody in the stream, by the way, even those that aren't talking. Thank you for being here.
You were being deceitful and deceptive, and other things.
You're all fucking
I found
awesome.
in that moment, not
Hello,
wanting
everybody.
to press my friend on the thing that you were clearly lying about, which was just so fucking telling. Also, and I'm like, you know, if your job is to do the right thing in the end of days, and even though you know all that extra shit, I still wasn't like pushing you on it.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting. It was interesting like that.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite part was learning that your wife was also a scientist. Because again, I was like, Sarah's gonna come for Laren at some point, and that was like my one emotional needle. Like, oh, you couldn't figure shit out with your wife, so you're coming after me
Yeah,
now?
Tim, like you say, there's nothing wrong with that,
I was
but
just waiting for that. It never came up, which is
I'm one of those
great,
people that
but,
like I like
what an
to
interesting
create
character to, like,
the character in the world, and
that there's something big
the combat's my
and you
my
have to
favorite
go,
part of the game, but
I'm gonna pay attention to this other thing and hope
I love
that somehow allows me to sidestep what I know is bad.
I love creating the character.
Hard.
God.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I think he also has a crazy respect for the, you know, for the arcane.
Dog's an
warriors.
absolute
So I
tank.
think also it was.
Well, if I'm being called out like
He
that.
knew it wasn't something he could mess with unless
Hello,
he was
hello.
able to get right up close to you.
Yeah.
And then maybe turn or push the button, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Didn't mean to call you out, D.
Kind of jumping off of what
That's
we're
how I'm going to
talking
pronounce your
about
name.
again.
I'm so sorry if
We
it's
have a
DE, but I'm going to say
question
D from now on.
Katie M on Twitter.
Oh,
Travis and
The
Luis,
KDM.
what inspired your decisions to make characters who had children, despite knowing that you were telling an apocalyptic story?
Because they wanted to hurt us, that's why.
Your characters were both dads, affected your gameplay, and caused you to make different decisions to the other characters. Because I agree with Katie here. Fucking bold move.
Extremely bold move.
It's like,
Thank God the kids survived.
Like incredibly
Jesus.
fun. Like, when they were, like, fun and delightful, and not even just like blank slate kills.
Brutal. Put the little
talent.
My favorite part is trying to subvert combat with creativity and lucky rolls. Combat mate's okay, but it can be a
I
slog.
want to hear what.
Again, another story back to when we did our first little campaign bit. We were only level 3, and we didn't really know much about what you could and couldn't do in D&D. So I played a warlock, so a lot of mine was just, you know, you walked into this room and he was like, oh yes, there's an enemy there, like a certain thing. I can't remember what it was. It was just like skeletons or something like because it was a necromancer. He was like basically trying to like resurrect his dead wife. That was the whole point of the story. And a lot of it was me just being like, oh, okay, I'm 30 feet away. I'm going to use Eldritch Blast. And then I'm going to run. I'm going to hide here. I'm going to pop around the corner. Eldritch Blast. And that was it. That's the whole thing. So, yeah, it can be a little bit tedious when you don't have, 1, the knowledge, and 2, like, the spells or anything like that. But it can still be fun. It can still be fun. Oof, the children part hit Sam and Travis super hard. Do they both have kids? Because it hit me hard. I was not crying at all. I'm a man. Alright. I'm a man!
What Luis's take was, but for me, usually it seems like in adventure campaigns, a group of Adventurers go to the threat, battle it, and maybe if they're lucky, somebody will hear that they either succeeded or failed, but it's like collateral damage is minimized.
Yeah, I would
out
really like to
there.
know what
took
Sarah
place in
did with the rest of his
city.
life. Like, if he
Your home and everybody else's home.
if he
and
put
of
away
course,
his
that means
axes
there are
and just
families and women and
stayed with his
children
kids
everything
and his
else,
wife.
hopes and dreams and everything. So that felt I felt
That's what I
bad
think
to do
happened.
that
That's
because it makes it far more fun.
I think after everything that happened and the fact that he almost lost them, he just wanted to stay with them.
Well, I kind of want to ask, because you were already talking about, you between of the two of us, you have your own kid, and did that ever, giving your character a child in the Calamity didn't?
Strong man also
you were saying
cried.
how you related
Tim,
to that.
don't.
Very much so.
Aspect of it.
So I brought up before. That, I'll back up. My favorite superhero, it's not very interesting, is Superman since I was a kid. Just because he's a guy that can do anything and chooses to do good, and so I loved that growing up. But I've always been fascinated by Jor-El, who was also very influential in Krypton and did the right thing and got his kid off the exploding planet. But if I had to critique it, I'd be like, if you were so smart, motherfucker, why didn't you make a rocket for the three of you?
You got a point.
So part of that was also like, you can be the baddest, most focused warrior, mage, whatever, and when shit hits the fan, there has to be a priority. And if one is shutting down the threat, then number two inherently is your family.
Yeah.
So you've put something above your family. And as a new dad, I don't know how to do that. Like they don't,
So goddamn
might
cute.
hear it, but when people say like becoming a parent is literally someone taking your heart out of your chest, taking it out of your body, giving it legs, and it starts walking around for the rest of your life. And all you can do is stare at it and the things that are around it and try and protect it and hope that nothing bad happens to it. And that's the craziest notion. So when I knew that a Calamity was coming, I thought it would be interesting as a player, depending on where it went down and what was going to be happening, if he was torn between the thing that he's been trained to do his entire life
Versus
and
his
knowing
family.
that maybe there is something more important than that in this moment, even though he holds this high position. So that pull.
Superman is so interesting with good writers.
didn't know
It's just modern writers don't know what the
that.
most modern writer. Come on. If you look at any like the best stories and comics and manga and everything, it's usually always like the older stories from back in the day that are the best
I'm
ones.
Fascinated by new parents, because I don't have kids, and I don't know if I want kids. But I mean, I don't think they're gross or anything.
They are.
They're good.
Yeah, they only live 40, 60 years. Yeah, I saw that.
Until you
It's funny, there's actually something we brought up with Demi, because we were like, there's a situation here, Demi, because I think my friend Steven was Dragonborn, whatever it was, and they lived for quite some time. I was a half elf, so I lived till about, I think it's like 180 or something, like their average lifespan. And then Demi was like, I want to be an Aarakocra. And I was like, that's great, but you're not going to be around with us for a long time. Between 40 to 60. So then we made it basically so she, like, her motivation and her like past was basically she was a half Aarakocra and a half human. And she was like shunned by her village and her family and everything. Not the mum and dad, obviously, but and sort of kicked out. And because she's half human, then she gets to live like a human-esque life. So at least to 80 to 100, I guess, if you're lucky, but it's a little bit longer, right?
At this rate, Alan might live to 40.
Yeah, true. True.
I know.
To be fair, most campaigns span a few years in the game at most. Yeah, I guess that's true.
I have, nieces and nephews, and they don't live far away, and but that's not the same as having your own kid. But I am fascinated.
Just be a
by
druid and
what
live
you
off
described,
400, 600
which is
years instead.
that your heart is like now outside of you
Tempting.
and now out in the world. And whenever friends of mine have their first kid, I kind of interview them, and I'm like, so I mean, is all this stuff true that people say? And then just to get them
I feel
to
like the
talk
limitations in
about,
communications
it's
and
just
travel
endlessly
kind of make it easier to lose touch,
that's one of the
so it
reasons
doesn't
why
hurt as
I
much when
like to
allies and
play,
friends outlive each other.
Parent, because it's me playing.
Thank you for depressing me.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
trying to access something that I feel like I get a sense of through my imagination, but I can only imagine in real life. There's nothing to compare it to in real life, but I'm endlessly fascinated.
The story made me want to
by
recommend
that.
you to watch
And so
Kraken.
it
It's an
just made sense
anime.
for me to have, and I wanted to have a kid that wasn't mine. I wanted to have again,
Freren
kind of
Beyond
parallel
Journey's
the
End, 'cause that
relationship between
sounds
gods. I think I
depressing
had told
already.
Brendan, I said I kind of see the story as like a story of like fathers and sons, and in a sense, and so seeing like the portrayers as
I'll
our
put it on my tab.
fathers and mothers in a way, and then I have the kid.
Oh,
It's
now you-
not mine, but is mine, and I've never like explored that, so it was cool. And I'm
Generations
glad that you
pass,
said
and
what
the
you said,
elven mage
because that's why
Freren
next time I play
comes face to
a
face with
dad,
humanity's
I'm gonna literally imagine my
mortality.
heart leaping out of my body and then taking form as a kid, and that's gonna be fucking cool. It's very powerful, and to hear an actual.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah, literally, that's the Aaron Cocker way.
Even the dichotomy too, that you had a complicated relationship.
Hey, what's up, William?
Yeah, and kind of playing that estranged father role.
Yeah.
And then
It's a lovely anime, one of the best that I've watched. I'll give it a look.
Yes.
Yeah,
You already recommended it, William.
Yeah.
You recommend me a new anime every day. Like I can't keep up, man. I still need to watch Violet Evergarden and The Silent Voice, and I'm worried to watch both of them because I know they're sad and I know they're gonna make me cry, and I don't like it.
only really got a little bit of that.
Just a kiss, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was something we talked. That was something
I watched Angel Beats, and that was enough to scar me for life when it came to anime.
I knew Nidus wouldn't have.
And it's technically not even a sad anime.
Family, but I liked the idea of. I liked it as a representation of how close we were.
Yeah.
At one point in our lives, that it's like the three of us were some kind of triumvirate to the point where you were like, yeah.
Today I learned coalboats can live for 120 years.
Part of our extended family.
Dansberg could have done more with his life. I don't know.
Cemented, I think, by relationship to you, and I think that's why it was in the moment so easy to like give in to you. And if this were like a
Star Wars
longer
just had you crying like a
campaign
bitch.
with more
What
of those
happened,
moments,
William?
I can imagine
This is a safe space.
always doing that.
Unless it's spoilers.
I don't know how you stop feeling indebted to someone who's taking your kid.
Yeah.
Like how you and your family did. So.
I mean, the cleric in my campaign who died was an 88-year-old man. Well, there you go. It was a good life.
We quickly said, nah.
A good non-scarring anime is
There's something
Grimgar.
slightly hilarious about
Grimgar.
exes who fucking hate each other, and there's something that's not hilarious at all about exes with a kid who hate each other.
Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions. Again, I'll put it on my tab.
We also went and got coffee. Yeah.
My
there were
never-ending
early
list of anime to watch.
Yeah. Early talks about who
We were just sitting with our thumbs up our ass, I guess. Next time, find debris as fast as you can.
That's the game, baby.
Can't say it because spoilers, but I just finished the Rebel show. Was an emotional ride.
There were early talks about like
Rough.
Like you?
Yeah, of Laren being Elias's mom.
I can't get being slowly buried underneath a list of recommended shows. I was already buried, dude. Now I'm just getting dug further.
Pretty cool. That would have been something
I was
interesting.
excited about it.
But yeah.
It stepped in on like a very powerful thing about like the family that you choose that aren't necessarily born to you, and I think it would have been like this weird step away because then there's like that sense of like claiming of
Hi, little boy.
But I remember us talking about it, and I was
No,
very
you've had
excited
enough.
about like, oh man, I always think about fighting everyone in the group, I guess, and just PvP minded.
Brie almost killed me in something else we did.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Oh my god. Well, I'm
No
just
more
an asshole,
animus
so I'm
must
just
watch
not
campaign
gonna
2 instead.
That's
True.
fine. Never mind.
But I'm just waiting for the show, man.
I am. I'm here to.
I would have started campaign 2 such a long time ago, but I want the show to come out. I know there's a show. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Get down. Down. I'm streaming.
Where would be
God
that,
damn
that
it.
person that gets escorted out the all-you-can-eat buffet?
Oh, 100%.
Just ring bells. Yeah, the idea that like if we ever got into it and talked about like Elias potentially being orphaned, they'd be like, no, he still has his mother, and make that the big reveal. But it never came to that.
No.
Oh boy.
Just thinking about, I love the Gestalt space that was rendered, even by the stuff you guys didn't talk about in your character's backstory. Like thinking about Xerxes, and it's like, okay, so this is a guy who came aboard the city while his husband, an Eldritch Knight, was first knight, so we could study his weird paladin oracle stuff that seemed to be unique. His husband died, and then the backstory that didn't
Show won't come out for
camera,
years.
the
Oh, I
city
thought.
put a lot of pressure on Xerxes to become first
What are they
knight, and there
finishing
wasn't
Vox
a
Machina
great
first?
candidate after Evandrin was gone. So him leaving Elias and Kath Moira was something that there was a lot
You can
of
watch
political pressure on him to
campaign
do,
1
of people
until
being like, if
56
it's
though.
not you, it's going to be
I could.
Kevin, you know, and like, you know,
I
like,
could.
So we can't.
Do you want to doom Avalier?
But the thing is though,
Kevin?
because I've heard, because I know Orison. Oh God, what a face, Marisha. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I hear he makes some very uncomfortable no, great, get off. Very uncomfortable situations for the gang in the campaign in general. And I hate uncomfortable situations, so I hear it's best to start from episode 27 when he goes. But I don't know if I'll miss too much. I really don't know. About to turn 30 in a couple of days, by the way. Oh, Tim, I'm so sorry to hear that. But happy birthday.
No, and so this guy, it's just like, hey, you know this like grief-stricken, completely alone knight up in the tower who keeps talking about dreams of betrayer gods? Should anyone check in on him? Nah, he's probably fine. His kid's a continent away.
He's so strong.
Strap your belt on him, he'll work it out.
So strong.
Yeah. I want to ask you what it was like
Spent me
for you to play our kids. I don't know. I'm just
Love it. Love it. Well, because there's a convenience to orphans, which is why from fairy tales and fantasy immemorial.
Oh, I
convenient,
see.
right?
Long. All
No
right. Cool.
attachments, so an adventure makes more sense.
Yeah.
When does Luke leave Tatooine?
Yeah.
When his aunt and
There's a lot of great stuff in the
right?
first
Like,
20 episodes.
spoilers.
I mean, I'll probably just have to deal with it.
Sorry. But you know what I mean? Like, and I think there's something to the idea of but in a thing that's all about stakes and loss, I think it's really necessary. And I love doing any familiar relationships, siblings, parents, children, because I think that there are people,
I'll probably just deal with it and just sort of ignore him because I know he will eventually just sort of
relationships
be kicked out of
you
the
need
campaign or
certain
whatever.
things to see certain sides of people. And again, I feel like even in just the blush of everything around that, even people that did try to like avoid those, or did not try to avoid, but like Pacia,
Dude,
people
my
that distant,
nose.
like Pacia and her grandfather, and
Having none of it today.
Nidus and his brother, and things that never get said. But by the 4th episode, I'm like, Daedalus is Nidus's older brother, and he kind of never did make it to Avalier. And how does Nidus feel about that? The fact that his older brother got married and became sort of the mayor of Kath
Are you
Moira,
telling me he doesn't
and
usually
you
have that beard?
unmarried Are like, no, I did become
That
the dragon.
thick,
And all that
luscious
stuff just
beard?
becomes
I don't think I could see him without it.
I just loved it. I think all that family stuff makes it so.
I thought he just had a beard in general. Like he just kept it. That was his look.
I feel like we've been away from questions for a second.
That keeps scrolling.
Lou,
Yeah.
Nidus was a pirate who became the key to.
So natural. So natural.
Sales take first 2 episodes were some of the
So
best,
good
and
at
honestly,
intros and
only part of that is
outros and
Orion
segues.
isn't there for those episodes.
Nidus was a pirate who became the key to Avalier's resources. Does he feel as though his dreams were realized even though the city fell?
Great question, Brendan. Really good. No, I don't.
Nah, Travis
think
is still a father, so he keeps the trait from
I
Sarah.
base the character
True.
a lot in terms of his how his thought process on like a mix of John Hammond from Jurassic Park in the book and in the movie. Because in the book, he's a real.
As bad as he was, I think
monster.
his effect on
And in the
C1
movie, he's a
Arc
real
1 is kind of
sleepy.
overblown sometimes.
And I think
A lot of people
I
forget
think
that he had
kind of
left.
like the Jurassic Park sense
He was
that
really quite beloved in the
goal
campaigns.
is not
So I've
just
been told apparently like he had like a
it's not
catchphrase
just
and
to make
everything,
the
and
city great. The goal is to make this. I
I think it was just like awkward. Sometimes he made like awkward situations for the cast, for the rest of the players.
And have everyone come up and kneel before me and say, "Great job, you
I
really
don't know.
made something
have
amazing." Like
watched
just bringing dinosaurs back, I could give a shit. Or just making Avalier great and making it this hub of commerce where everyone can live.
And the first arc, C1, introduces a fairly beloved NPC. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like I say, I'll probably just watch it. I'll just deal with it.
Fuck that. We need to go to the Celestial.
Tiberius was great. The player was not. That's what that about sums it up. Yeah.
So I don't think his dream is realized, but I think
I know there was one part with Tiberius trying to sort of get with a girl, I think, like to be his girlfriend, and then Matt turned around and either just said no, like friend zoned him, or it turned out she was a lesbian or something. And Orion apparently was not very happy about that. I know of that situation.
That be life
No, in the campaign. No, it didn't. Matt didn't turn someone into a lesbian or friend zone someone, don't worry. That would be ridiculous. That's Allura. That is a banging name. I like that name.
Where you killed us.
In my opinion, he wasn't great, but I'd still watch the first arc. Yeah, I'd probably still watch it.
Mercer made up the Calamity.
No,
okay?
don't put this on
Mercer made it up. And I'm over here bad copping it, okay?
So you gave birth to us, and Matt killed us.
Oh, yeah.
In a way. I'm in the delivery room, but you know, there's...
I would highly recommend Super Geek Mike's. I was about to say Super Geek Meat there. Oh, God. Video about Tiberius. I think I may have already seen it. I've seen, it might not be that one, but I've seen some guy's video, like, let's talk about Tiberius. And then there was, like, another video saying, why do we talk about Tiberius? I don't know if it's those ones. I never really checked out the name, but I did watch that one, if that's the one you're referring to.
Second, aka 2 hours, you murdered us ruthlessly. That's you. That's you.
Wasn't that you had no interest, it's just that you fucked up his chances. Oh, okay.
2/3 of Exandria is gone. But when it actually starts to happen, and we're making saving throws for an hour of game time, all of a sudden people got some shit to say. That's all I'm saying.
But in that moment, I do think...
Is that the one? Alright, cool.
That's Nidus's moment of being like, okay, the ambition is too much, and right now there is something to lose, which is just what Avalier is, which is a community of people.
I can just say I started with the beginning of C1 and it was fine to watch. Turn on the subtitles, ignore the on-screen chat, and it'll be fine. Oh yeah, because I've seen. Obviously, they weren't nearly as big as what they are now, and I do apologize if I keep pausing this. I just don't want to talk over them, so I can actually listen to them. Yeah, I know they weren't like nearly as big as they were now in the campaign. The production obviously wasn't nearly as high. I thought you were saying something to me. Yeah. That's just from standing up. Ridiculous.
Arc that you went on. When we're
Let's remember we don't know what was going on in Orion's personal life. And we have a one-sided account, but we're going to assume. Yeah, well, from what I heard, was he not suffering from like some? It wasn't like cancer or something like really bad.
I think it's not until Laren is trying to blow up the tree that.
Like I know he liked to meta game a lot, and he liked to be the. He was like he had main character syndrome apparently.
Wait. If these two things are. If this is it, if this is us, like enacting this thing that this person has told me,
yeah, apparently
is the inevitable end of Avalier, then actually we need to stop.
It was shit. What's she called? Jesus Christ, Vex. I think it was Marisha's character, because she, from a moment that I remember, she went to go do something like she rolled maybe a natural 20 or something, or a really high roll, and she like had this big moment where she was able to take down some sort of enemy, and he kind of like stole that moment from her, because as she like shot her arrow, he decided to butt in with I use my magic or whatever, or some spell to guide the arrow myself to where it needs to be, and sort of like completely stole her moment, and apparently that was not fondly looked upon, which I can totally understand. Like that's totally stealing her moment.
Now, like, I know I've been shoveling coal into this engine, but can we please hit the brakes? Can we please, in this moment, hit the brakes? And the answer is we can't.
You told a prodigy that you had
I started
to
binging
be
more after he was
for
gone, but
decades
before
to
wasn't
know
bad
for
at
the
all.
first
I
time
still
and
think
thought
that
was gonna go a different way.
chalkboard bit was hilarious. Oh, I've heard of that. Is that where he was asking Scanlan for an item and he kept saying no, and then apparently he like went up and put on like the chalkboard how many days in a row or something he had asked this,
shift into the moral
something like that.
of like, which it felt so earned. What was that like? Because I feel like you must have some.
Bex is Laura's character, right? Yeah, sorry.
I think I got caught off guard when you
keep
were
forgetting.
like, I'm gonna cast Blight on it, and I was like, wait. Like, it was that moment where you were like, and you were very kind in that you did it very slowly. You were like, I raised my hand to cast Blight. You don't go, I cast Blight. So in that moment,
I mean, yeah, it was funny, but he was also trying to pressure Sam into giving up one of his magical items, and he clearly didn't want to do it. Yeah.
Wait. Okay, guys, I have to explain this to you that I've kind of been sitting on, and it's kind of, I don't know. I think
Paraphrase from SGM. Individually, his behaviors weren't all that bad, but together they were a problem.
Like, figure out if I was telling the truth or not, and you could tell I was lying, and you didn't ask about it. But now I kind of want to talk about it. And that's
May as well rip the band-aid off for him. Our fandom has a lot of toxic people who overlords every mistake and every moment of annoyance. So Ryan's hate is a pinch unwarranted. Dude, I play Overwatch, alright? I even dabbled in League of Legends once upon a time. Believe me, I know about toxic communities. Oh my god, they're the worst. And I'm a huge anime fan. Come on now. If you have an opinion, it's wrong.
It was me going, wait, I have to tell everybody this thing and what this means. And then when everyone else didn't back down, when that didn't work, I was like, oh, okay, well, I have to try and stop this. And this is now on me. You gave me this prophecy, and now I'm the only one who can do anything about it.
Without a saving throw to watch a prophecy actually like,
Tell you, man.
like drive someone.
Anime fans, they're passionate.
Panic, you know what I mean? Like it happened in real time of like the prophecy.
You can't possibly imagine the hate Marisha got when Legend of Vox Machina Keyleth was as cute as a button. She got a lot of hate.
Of the Trouble Troika?
The
Trouble Troika.
C1 and C2, she was frequently bashed? No way. What for? Just
all of the three of you in your present time are so well matched with each other.
I suppose the best way is to just watch it and make up your own mind about him. Yeah, I guess so.
From the sky. And this dude, I feel like there was just
I try not to like,
of like,
if anyone has an opinion on something, I'll take it with a pinch of salt
and then
and
a sudden moment where you hear this prophecy.
say I'll just make up my own thoughts and feelings about it when I watch it.
Goes, wait, guys, it can actually get bad. Like I know that you.
Sorry?
The real world's coming. I'm telling you.
Can't help it. If it's there, it's getting drunk.
It felt so. Why? It was just such a cool transformation to watch.
Yeah, we're coming from privilege. We're like, bad.
People being assholes, really?
Bad is when the water
Like personal assholes, or just like they didn't like the character, or were they actually being assholes to Marisha herself?
Everything everybody was doing in terms of all of that stuff, and when you said Blight, I was like, wait.
So many people call Marisha a bad RPer. It was insane. I mean, I clearly don't think so. I've just bigged her up. That was one of the traits I give her. I was like, she's really good at like becoming the character, and everyone's like, nah, she's shit, man. She's terrible. I mean, of course, we're talking years ago when the second campaigns were out, but you know.
You're gone for all of that. And having Blight was the luckiest guess. I was like, I kind of like this.
They sent her death threats.
Oh, a bad tree?
Because she was a bad RPer, they sent her death threats for
I will
that?
say, in the
Jesus
pantheon
Christ,
of,
man.
You know, pulling the heart through and of blighting the tree. One of the very nice things that was very sweet about the show.
I remember some threads saying she's sleeping with the DM, husband/wife, so she gets free passes for bad behavior.
If there was a fight, if you were there. You could have stopped a lot of
Yeah, and you leaving was, I remember like you leaving and I was kind of like, we'll get him later. Like, it was like I truly like, it's fine. Hey, what's up? Something really bad's gonna happen. He'll come back. All right, come on, guys. And then to have it be that we're fighting, it's like, oh shit, he should be. Why am I holding person?
Like so if you had walked in at that moment, you know, with your pizza box and the fire.
Yeah, mostly not using the right spells, the right feats.
Like knowing what you knew.
Being too shy in C1 or too bashy in C2, it was terrible. So basically, she couldn't fucking sneeze right without getting bashed.
What side would you have taken? Who would have
Exactly.
those hawks have gone straight into?
I mean, it would have depended on what he walked into, but Pacia and Laren were 1 and 2 because I just assumed
The windwalk moment is what cemented a lot of toxicity. I don't know the windwalk moment, I don't think.
Yeah, and Xerxes would be like 3, but I would assume.
She also happened to be the DM's girlfriend, now wife, and a woman on the internet, that's all. Yeah, pretty much.
Knew that Nidus, with all that bard shit that I haven't seen
Fuck
yet,
them,
'cause
though.
we hadn't really, we hadn't rolled, I didn't know.
How dare she be a woman? I know, right? How dare she not be born with a massive
Gonna
schlong?
go bad, and what was so interesting was that I made the choice just on an RP thing to go
Disgusting.
after the kids and stretch the story that way. And then as soon as I left, I was like, oh, I'm gonna let them fuck each other up first and come in when they're tired.
That's very good, actually.
That's way better.
Oh my god. We have a fan question, you guys.
Keyleth was awkward because she was new to playing D&D and meeting up people at the table, so she wanted a reason to be awkward. It made sense for her and for her character. Exactly.
Correct.
Was Laren's urgency to get the astral layrite done before the next apogee solstice only so that she could fix or focus on her relationship with Loquacious before he was gone? Question mark. Or was there something she
Just
was
remember,
hoping to
boys,
do on other
grills
planes
aren't
she was
real.
working towards that
Maybe that's why they were so
involved
pissy with her.
me as well.
She was trying to pretend to be one.
Aw, babe.
So what were you up to?
Sweet. I think the drive to get it done in this one was suddenly realizing
You got a schlong, I've
her
seen it.
introduction was, hey, this is not only going to be your best shot, but it's like
She had trouble remembering all of her mechanics, hence the Scanner jab in Season 2 of the series about remembering her spells. Oh, is that what that was about? People felt she was too awkward. Fuck them, man.
You have your best chance of success at pulling off.
Look, not everyone can be an absolute buffoon on the internet and not give a two flying fucks about what people think. Alright? Not everyone has that in them. And look at her now. She's fucking great. She can act like a buffoon. Ain't nobody care. Nobody gives a shit. Assholes. Thank you. Broomgate? Oh, what's Broomgate? Is that another thing? Did she do wrong? Yeah, I'm forever thankful I came in late to the game. I'd say so, but I mean, I I do plan on making videos whenever William does manage to sort out the campaign, the website, so that we can actually do it. And I'll figure out how to finesse it so we can, like, if they're comfortable with being on camera, then I can use their camera. You're fine. I'll just put a picture of your character on there. I forgot. I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
You're saying you want to see
Yeah, but what was I going in for it? Oh yeah, no, sorry, yeah, because you're late to the game. Yeah, people are probably going to be really pissy with us in the fact that we don't really know the characters and the game that well and the spells and what to do. It'll probably be a really boring first watch until we get used to it. But you know what it is? Fuck it. All right, you don't have to watch it. I had some guy the other day kicking off with me because thing was, oh, my Huntsman Hotel video had a green border over it, and some guy was so, oh no, sorry, no, it wasn't. I was talking and pausing the video. I did a react. Obviously, when I do reactions, if I've got something to say, I'll pause the video so I don't miss it, so you guys don't miss it, the reactions, and you know it makes sense to do that. But some guy was like, "Oh, this guy pauses too much. How dare you?" He's like, "Just play the video and talk over the video." And I was like, "Dude, you are the only person to ever say that." And I was like, "There are plenty other people reacting to this. If you don't like the way I do it, by all means, you don't have to watch it." And he was like, "Yes, I guess I don't." And I was like, well, there you go. Fuck off. Like, there's the door. Nobody's keeping you here, my friend.
Is that the one that was like, I'll go watch a reactor that actually doesn't care about money or something?
No, that was a different one. That was because I'd put a border over it because YouTube kept blocking the video. And yeah, he was like, "Oh, how dare you? Oh, people just want to be monetized these days. Nobody cares about the the people that watch the video, but just as soon as you get over 1,000 subscribers, that's it. Monetization, that's all they care about, money. I'm like, dude, you have fucking no idea, do you? All these videos get demonetized. I don't make a penny from them. You fucking idiot. You just made yourself look like a fool. I'm very open about it. I've shown people on stream my YouTube studio and how many videos have been demonetized. You just made yourself look like a fool.
Something that you've worked for more than a decade on. Like, of course, that's the thing you care about the most. She wanted it done and taken care of.
And don't worry,
because,
William.
yeah, in that
I'm not
sort of,
having to
like,
dig at you.
type
I know
personality,
you've got your
all the
life. You've got
flow
shit to
charts, she's
do.
like, get the lay right
I just
done,
hope we can do it at some point.
get married, or at least repair that relationship so that it can be as good as it can be again, because she knew that she still had feelings for him.
But the lay right came.
But the lay right came first because it
due.
needed to get done.
Yeah.
It was a time-bounded thing.
Yeah.
I think everything passed the planes. Like, there was no, like, I want to send him home to the Feywild. That was just, like, her, like, the little dream in the back of her mind was, once this is done, we can go visit your home plane together.
There was
and
a lot
won't that be a lovely...
a lot of our characters, like, once we
Many
get
reactors
this,
complain about, people complain about this. I honestly don't understand. I want your thoughts.
It's one last thing. Yeah.
I can rest.
Yeah, exactly. You've watched the stuff. That's what I mean. Like, if you're looking for a reaction, I want...
Knowing your
What do you think about what you've just seen? Connect with the characters. Get emotional. I don't want to just sit and talk over it and miss everything that I've said.
Speaking of plans, another question was how much of the Laren loquacious relationship was planned before the game?
Yeah, let's,
okay.
Yeah, true.
Let's talk about those because
I got our text thread.
God, it's
I got our text thread up where Aria says
there's some scrolling.
It's a long thread.
Oh yeah, Tim, 100%.
Lorwyn is her first name.
Oh, I changed it. That's
I just don't get triggered by things though.
Surname. Thoughts on your
Unless it's a game. And it's my boss calling me Ryo. Yeah.
Thoughts on yours is a funny double meaning there. Like, I haven't thought of his surname. Could I?
When I start playing Overwatch or Dead by Daylight, I don't get triggered by anything.
I said my current name is Loquacious Hambrick Zucker. Hambrick Zucker?
You robbed us. Yeah. You absolutely robbed us. I could have had loquacious
Zucker.
Hambrick Zucker.
Like a ham brick?
Yeah. Now it will never happen.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah, Among Us was
Hambrick Zucker.
That's crazy.
I hate him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, I don't want to be married.
The player of Gurn had a lot of women go after him in the Me Too movement. So Matt said in a tweet that he was killed by a fire giant. Rough, dude.
Just Hambrick Zucker.
I mean, I like the poses and hearing what you think. That's what I'm here for. Well, like I said, the main reason I keep pausing it is, or like when I'm doing a reaction, I pause it is because either I want to talk about the thing that I've just seen, and also if I'm sitting here trying to explain what I've just seen while also trying to watch more of the stuff, I'm going to miss stuff. I'm not going to be able to hear it properly. You guys are going to not be able to, I know you've seen it, but you want me to hear it. And you probably obviously want to hear it yourself. It's just rewatching it, but with some idiot in the corner of your screen going, "Ha! That was so funny." Let's talk about it, guys. Did you see it? He walked. All right, let's continue. Thank you. Going out for a smoke. God damn it, Tim. Cut the habit. Every time you tell me you're smoking, that's what you're gonna get.
And how durable that would be.
My very next text on the thread is, maybe I should simplify my stupid-ass last name to something much more fey, since that's where I'm from. How about Loquacious Sealy, implying that I'm from the Sealy court, like Elminor? Wasn't that something you did with Fern on EXU?
That's very odd. I was like, oh, you
Yeah, much better. But to answer the original question is how much of the relationship was planned, we figured out like a timeline.
Yeah.
How many years we were married, how many years we were not married. We figured out loosely why we had split.
Yes.
And this one here was like, hey, is it okay if I was the reason?
Yeah. We had already met in our little nasty gal meeting, and I was like, I want to be the bad guy.
I mean, you could pause more if it was up to me.
I'll do it. I did it. What'd I do?
and I was like, well, no,
Thea
can we
knows.
both be at fault? Yeah, so we were.
That's good. Look, I'm just mad because I came away from our text conversation going, what a fun bit.
Being on the internet and having any controversial thing happen can ruin your career.
Knock me out.
Let me tell you a story, okay? Because I've already had that. I'm not even like I'm peanuts compared to other YouTubers. I have 5,000 subscribers, which thanks every single one of you for subscribing. You're absolute gems. But I only have 5,000 subscribers. if I had more, this would probably have been blown out way out of proportion. But basically, I was watching. What was it that I was watching? Was it Red versus Blue? Yeah. Oh yes, it was Red versus Blue, and somebody had made some sort of joke. I can't remember what it is about, like some sort of trans joke. Oh no, he said well, at least the first time you had sex with someone that didn't turn out to have a dick, and then one of the characters goes, "Oh, great, thanks. Do you have to bring that up again?" You know, the joke being the first time he had sex with someone, they had a dick. Ha 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 ha. Funny joke. So I paused it just for a second, and I was like, just remember, guys, there's no such thing as a chick with a dick, just a guy with tits. Which is a reference to Ted 2. And that was it, and I just moved on past it. And I got specifically 2 comments who, like, after I explained, were all like, "Oh, yeah, well, sorry, we didn't realize. We just thought you were being an ass." Who took it very personal and was like, one of them was straight up just like, I knew it. I knew what kind of sick individual you were ever since you played Hogwarts Legacy. You're supporting J.K. Rowling, you transphobic piece of shit. And I was just like, whoa. Like, I was making a reference to a movie. Like, it's not that deep. I was just making a haha. I was trying to make it funny. And then, yeah, I explained that to them. They were like, oh, I see. Well, sorry about that. Well, I went to go reply to them, and as I clicked enter, it was like, you can't do this. And I was like, eh? And then I refreshed it, and it turns out they had deleted their comment because somebody had commented to them being like, oh, I think he was just making a reference to Ted 2. And then I think they realized, and, you know, that kind of got, you know, cited. And then again, another person was like, the comments you make, that is the reason why the suicide rates of trans people are so high. It's comments like this, and I was like, again, I explained it, and they were like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. And then, you know, that was kind of thingy. But I was like I am the most accepting person ever. Like, if you're gay, if you're bi, if you're in love with a fucking car, I don't give a shit. Like, as long as you're not weird about it, I don't really care. My sister is, well, I'd say at the moment, confused. Lexi, if you're watching, I love you. But yeah, no, like, she at the moment doesn't know if she likes girls, if she was just going through a phase, anything, like, which is completely fine. And I was like, we're like, look, we support you and love you no matter what. Like fuck what everybody else thinks. Like, we're your family. My cousin's gay, and he was just here the other day. He's fucking great. My auntie is transsexual. I have no problem with that. Like, it's so stupid. And I was like, you're acting because I said a joke about something, a reference to a movie, and it got blown out of proportion. I wish you had just asked and I could have explained it rather than you just going for the throat straight away. Anyways, sorry about that. That's a bit of a rant for me. I mean, I say I'm trans adjacent purely because of the alters I've got. I might be a girl, but I've got more male alters. Yeah, like I say, and I have absolutely no problem with you identifying as that. As, like I said, you could come up to me and be like, you know what it is, I'm really feeling like I'm
honestly, it was planned as
I'm a toaster because I love toast, and I'd be like, you know what it is, fuck yeah.
I talked to Brendan at least about how, hey, it would be really great if over the course of,
unless you've committed some sort of heinous crime or you're an absolute fucking degenerate asshole.
About himself that are,
I don't care who you are.
He could be more honest with himself about what he's become, and maybe he doesn't like what he's become, and maybe,
yeah, welcome to my TED Talk. Yeah, this is a safe space for everybody.
At the end of it, you know, we could reconcile or something. But that's not up to you to decide, obviously.
No, and I mean, that was honestly the parts of the story that I probably had my hands off the most for were your guys' scenes. There was a whole scene in
make some food.
I think at the beginning of episode 3 or something like that, where it's just you guys in the Meridian Labyrinth while the fight is raging. and it's just you guys having a heart-to-heart. And the scene in episode 1 when we're doing all the intro vignettes, where you guys and you alone had a vignette where you met, and I could I remembered
45 minutes.
because we had talked about it, and you had said this vision of Loquacious that like his life changed in a bad way with the Elena Tuveris, with the covering up of that secret. Because before then, you had actually been an honest reporter. And that was the beginning of you being like, okay, I'm going to acquiesce, and the Herald's Tome is going to kind of become propaganda, and it is going to be kind of, you know, power pushing. But it was also clearly bad for Loquacious, right? And in that first scene where you were talking to Laren, where
the biggest problem I have is talking about DID, because then everyone's inevitably just like, oh, just like Split, don't kill me, please. Not a funny joke. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, people can be insensitive, and you need to know the person, and you know what type of person they are. Because there are some where you could crack that joke, and they'd be like, haha, yeah, that's, you know, I get that a lot, and go along. But there's like yourself, like, you don't like the joke. It's not a funny joke, and you don't want it to be a funny situation, which is completely understandable.
Most beautiful woman in the world. It makes me almost cry every time I've watched it. Of the 100 times I've watched it, it makes me almost want to cry. It's so profoundly beautiful, and whether that was honest emotion or performance, it's equally magical either way.
It was definitely honest. I am not a very good actor as opposed to what I said earlier, but yeah, I fell in love with her during the game. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
Well, okay, let me brag on.
I once made a friend of mine blue screen. She came out as lesbian, and I just said, okay, yeah, I already know. Do you want broccoli or cauliflower with dinner? And she had no response ready for accept. That's what I mean.
Role play, and I was kind of, I don't even remember how it came.
Like I said, I'm just a very accepting person, like a lot of people are. And I get like why some people are more reserved and scared about saying certain things, but
like I just always try to remember what came before.
Just depends what kind of community and what kind of people that you're talking with.
Rungs of a ladder, so I just always try to think about like what has already happened, and that's what. Which
besides, I'd recommend Moon Knight more. They did a better job of representing it. I still haven't seen it. William recommended me to watch it, and I love anything like Marvel related and stuff like that. So,
you know, that's always kind of like stuck with.
If I'm a flat earth, oh well, you know, come on, right? Okay, look, right. There's the line, right, and not the line that is flat Earth, but there is a line. It's crossing it. All right. I'm sorry. I don't accept it. Flat moon, yes. Flat earth, not so much.
Was like a master class in just being 100% informed from everything that had already happened. And because it's easy to make shit up, and you could have made something up about like, you know, the Avalier, where it's going and whatever, but everything was referenced.
Tim, you can't accept someone. Don't lie.
And yeah, it was just incredible.
On a legal pad.
The
only
you found the line.
done in the
The line stops at flat Earth.
Minutes while you were standing next to all of us being dumbasses on a break.
I don't
came back with that.
Yeah, like I don't use this. I don't say this lightly. The from that beautiful moment of Laren where you're.
I think you're wrong, but I accept you.
Literally grappling in the moment with the fact that moments ago he made the decision to die. Made the decision to go down with the ship.
Yes.
And is speaking about the reason that he chose to do that. And then the moment after that, and remember the market of wonders. I just need to say that is.
I have enough issues with my Tourette's. People constantly expect me to swear, even though that's only a small portion of people with Tourette's. I just meow. No, I do find it hilarious too. That's fucking awesome. That's cool.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think people when they think Tourette's just think, yeah, you can't help but just swear uncontrollably. But like you said, that's only a certain percentage of Tourette's because it's a certain form of Tourette's. There's many different forms of Tourette's, and
I have not contradicted the depth of my
like Sweet Anita, the streamer, like she has that form of Tourette's where she like swears and says whatever words are in her head or whatever.
Wonderfully silly, and I am not uncommitted in the moment of doing it. In the moment of doing it, this is exactly what I would do, and it's hysterical, and it's
my DM helped me work through things too. Pacia is a changeling with DID. That's the character I've got. That's cool. That's a good way. I like that. That's cool.
I want to say one braggy thing.
Oh my god.
Because I was talking to a bunch of friends, and we were like, they're also like RPG people, and they were like, what's your favorite decision you ever made in a game? And my answer, and it remains to this day, was when we were in our character gen and you came in, you're like, I kind of want to be divorced. Who wants to do it? Best decision ever made was being like, me, pick me.
Yeah.
Because this was
It
the
was
most
fast and
fun.
loud.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
I had no chill about that. I was like, I will lunge for Laura. Like, don't stop. Let me have this. I don't want to fight you,
It was
but
great.
I will.
It was great.
Thank you.
Great, great pair up.
Well,
Great
it really
combo.
was like so incredible to watch because I think you guys really hit on, what any type of a couple goes through where, and especially when you're like a third party watching a couple bicker where you're like, they're both right and they're both wrong. Uh-oh. And this is where, like,
He got her back. Yep.
yeah. And
The most dangerous tick Sweeney has is the one where she says, that isn't a tick. True.
Layers of
She kind of sets
and
herself up there.
trauma enacted on both sides, and that was incredible to watch.
Now, Marisha, I've always had a question for you. How does Pacia feel about the deal her grandfather struck with the Gaudrashari?
I can tell you've been sitting on
Yeah,
that one for
this
like a long time.
you know, it's funny. I've been talking. Me and the boys, we've been talking, and we've been wondering what are Pacia's opinions about her grandfather and a family name.
Wow, yeah, excellent
Thank
question, Lou. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin with this. Ultimately, like super high level, when I started thinking about Pacia and I went to Brennan and I was like, I think I want to make her like a Kennedy. Like I want her to be
grateful.
Yeah, like just someone who is so deeply entrenched in the history of Avalier and the political structure of Avalier. And
Yeah, I like Lou. He's fucking
I talked
hilarious.
a little bit about this as well, that like Laura was originally supposed to play. So she built like the very bare, structure of what this character was going to be. And she was like, politics. And I was like, fuck. You want me I gotta do politics? Okay.
Yeah, I bet, because if you're so used to it, you don't really think to be like, okay, this person doesn't know that I meow, so maybe I should mention it to them. You just live with it, and then all of a sudden you just start meowing, and they're like,
scrappy, work your way up from nothing.
you have a cat?
Especially when you're going from low level to high level. But since we were starting at such a high level and entrenched in in everything to do with Avalier, it was just kind of this perfect opportunity to build someone from the start who was super high society, incredible lineage in the city. And we talked so much. It was like why it was so wild when you were like, what about her parents in the game? And I was like,
It was one of those things because you're never quite done world building, right?
Yeah.
Like there's lots of family relationships that we didn't explore. Like I don't necessarily know who Laren's parents are, right?
Yeah.
But
in the city, they died.
Flow-charted.
Incredible. But like
Incredible.
It's just this thing where in the middle of that episode, you so beautifully bookended it with happy replenishment, grandfather. And it was so beautiful. And the whole and really there was something so heartbreaking about Pacia. Ooh,
Yes.
I got a hit with emotion just saying.
Ooh,
I got hit a little bit.
feeling.
Pacia, it's none of you are all so fucking good at this. And it's not an accident that in the middle of the fight, Pacia looks at Laren and says, "You're my best friend." Because Pacia's alone.
Yes.
It's really fucking sad. And she's really, and it's someone who.
I think Lou's gonna cry again.
Clear in
Poor
how we were
guy.
playing Pacia that we got to the middle of episode 4, and I was like, this person was not treated well by this, and yes, incredible wealth, all of this power, but looking at who Amir was. And by the way, everything I said in the beginning, Amir was an asshole from the jump. From the first scene, what does he say to do? Avalier goes from here to here. It's going to be beneath my eyes, right? I want the city to be underneath me. I'm looking down so the people down there can see my face, right? So that was immediately I was like, this is not a good guy, right?
Yeah.
And
Brett.
when we got to that point in that final episode, I just realized how.
Oh, this goddamn dog! I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go and clean up his piss because he decided to piss on the floor. Ray, I know you're trying to go on your puppy pad, dude, but you're not making it, man. You're making it difficult for me. Don't stand there all cute staring at me like I'm gonna forgive you. Did I? Did I? In. No, don't bite them up. It's got your pee on it, man, you sicko. Get off. No. No. Stop it. Stop it. Hey. Well, apparently so. Since the dog, when I say no, heard yes, go, bite. Savage. Oi, little lad. Get in. Right, now I'm gonna have to expose you again. Ba-da-dum. Great, look. The boys. That's right, it is. Oh God, don't say that. Very offensive.
How much of herself she had given up to the service of this vision, and now that it was all
Tim, he's not a good boy. He's being a scamp.
And especially as
he's also trying to lick Red Bull. Which is just terrible.
Had gone to get his kids out. You know, Loquacious and Laren were finding
Great,
each other.
no.
Even
Down.
And even Nidus like
Good
fucking
boy.
had Alisander. You
Good
know,
boy.
like there was this thing with Pacia where it was just like, who does she have?
The statue.
Standing in front of the fucking
statue. Standing
alone.
And I just looked at it and I was like, the fact that we've never talked about your character's parents' contribution, it sort of just came to me in that moment, and we had to communicate it while the cameras were rolling.
Yeah.
But I was like, your parents are gone.
Yeah.
And gone from your memory. Because I was like, the most horrifying thing of someone, you know, it's the hammer and nail, right? If you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And the idea of your memory erasing everybody, you've done it to yourself. Or it's happened to your grandfather.
Yeah. What's the likelihood?
What's the
Pretty
likelihood?
fucking high.
So that moment of just like, your parents failed.
Yeah.
And in so failing, in some way or another, your grandfather was like, you're going to succeed where they failed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like, so I have a question. So, like, your grandfather was up to some shit.
But very hot.
Brennan, the gal Drashari.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
how? What was it like unraveling that for the first time to all of us and the audience and everything else?
Did you consult with Matt?
Yeah, I mean.
Nah, I fucking winged it, dude. I said, this is what it is. Of course I consulted.
Of course, he's the man.
I mean, Matt can attest to it. I was blowing up his phone nonstop. I was like, could this be true about some druids? You know, just truly trying to check in as much as possible because, and obviously, like, you know, like, the guy's doing the entirety of planning for C3, so I was trying to make it as short and concise as possible. But essentially, I was like, okay, for this, I think it started with the primordials. I was like, the primordials are sealed because I was trying to be like, I want there to be apocalyptic stakes here, but we know our betrayer gods are focused on Vasselheim, so they're not rocking up to Avalier's not their priority.
Yeah.
So how do we make there be some stakes here in this moment? And I was like, oh, there's some primordials sealed under the mountain, and there's another prophecy about da-da-da-da-da. And so there was just a session where I was talking to Matt, and I was like, something with the
Yeah, I
get
get that.
And Matt was like,
It does make that whole you're my best friend just hit so much harder.
Is a Matt Mercer original.
And it really shows you how much of a good friend Laren is.
He pulled it off the dome so fast. It was fucked up.
She was happy, but I don't know about happy, but you know, she was alone and she was content with it. So to have a friend that she can call, well, have someone that she can call a friend, as a best friend.
You know, I had been talking about like, it was a perfect marriage. I feel like of because you know, like I was coming in with these like story beat things, right? Because for me, of like especially doing short run seasons, it's like, okay, here's the beats we have to hit, and I was like, and then going to the fucking, you know, the creator of Exandria, this like master world builder, and being like, it would be great if Vespin had released the Betrayer Gods from their prison, but there was some other stumbling block that we can focus on in this story. If there's something from these druids that they put in the city that the wizards kind of don't give a shit about anymore, right? So you can even hear like in how I'm saying it of like, here's a fucking fuzzy little thing I need for a story thing to happen. And Matt goes like, okay, and just immediately on the call spins this whole thing about the Gaudroshari and the fact that the primordials, there's an
he's too good.
to the elemental gates of the Ashari, and the idea of the elemental rifts, like the idea of there's always been this connection to elementalism through the primordials and other stuff like that. And then the Tree of Names being this thing that was itself crafting a druidic protection over the world was also a Matt Mercer original.
I mean, you guys, obviously, we know that both of you are super talented, but the way that you guys did this together is just, it's astounding.
I know.
I'm doing this to camera, but also Matt's literally right there.
Hey, Matt.
No, it was so cool to. It was also so cool for me as a player because, you know, I've only ever really played.
This is why I'm so hyped about the animated adaptation. What happens if you? What happens if you take improv plot points and then refine them with script and storyboard and pre-planned stories?
Short-ish, you know, I guess.
Exactly.
Story and.
Thing is, what are they gonna make it like in terms of like rating? Because there's that one moment where Pacia essentially blows the fuck up, as do Xerxes dies like 4 times or some shit, getting his spine like destroyed, getting thrown onto the floor. But she gets like her arm ripped off by the elbow, and people are getting like her jawbone and stuff like flying through them. Like, it is brutal. And don't get me wrong, I know the Legend of Vox Machina, it can get pretty goddamn dark, but I actually, no, to be fair with you, no, never mind. Yeah, no, the Legend of Vox Machina, literally the first like 30 seconds, some team gets destroyed by a goddamn boulder. Never mind. I mean, nothing they make is PG. Yeah, exactly.
Just to see how you approached it and how you approached gently pushing and prodding us into character creation that
one moment, yeah, that 1 second that took literally 2 hours.
Keeping us sort of always on task with like, okay, this is you don't have a short-term, a medium-term, and a long-term goal. You really just have this
Pacia can easily be made more relevant by being the plot hound alongside Sarah. Yeah, true.
And it was just so
very
cool
true
to watch you balance the needs of this short-form story with the demands of
how long is it gonna take?
Matt's gigantically huge world, and it was that in and of itself is a feat.
In like 10 minutes, I should say.
Thanks,
You suck, Brendan.
Oh, I can't tell if it helps if it's the clap.
It was what an incredible joy, and I feel like that's the
yeah, that's a great moment. That 1 second that literally took
of like almost like an
2 hours.
Switchboard, right? Because you have all this beautiful.
Just goes to show like what you can do with
like,
good story.
All of the, I was going back over it. Like, it's like, why was Asmodeus the betrayer god? And you're like, in the lore of Exandria, pre-established by Matt, the rumor is that Vespin Chloris is at the right hand of Asmodeus. And you read that and you go, well, if this motherfucker released every betrayer god, why is he at the right hand of just this one guy? Yeah. And just all of a sudden, just the ideas start coming, and it's very like, okay, and you plug that in there, and you go, okay, so Vespin does that, but it's the age of Arcanum also was just shitty wizards everywhere. So I don't want it to be like these guys were fucking just like, we never did anything wrong, and just Vespin Chloris ruined fucking everything for all of us. Yeah. It's like, no, you're all fucking culpable, baby. Like, Vespin is symptomatic of the larger age, right? Like, and you all share some blame in this, right? and then establishing, but like, why does Vespin Chloris have the unique
Legend of
sort
Vox Machina has also gone
distinction
through and
that he
changed a
does
few
in the
character
construct
deaths
of
so
Exandria?
far.
And it's like, well, number
Maybe
one,
it's so they're
Avalir was
just
so
badly hurt
destroyed
instead.
that, like,
It's all goes
what
both
fucking
ways.
story
Yeah,
is
I
that,
guess so. I
right?
guess so.
As opposed to Vasselheim, which we know does get successfully defended by the Prime deities, and Vespin Chloris's like crime.
Oh, I will say though, I do love because I watched the comparison from the Legend of Vox Machina anime or cartoon or animation, whatever you want to call it, to like the table, and it's the is it the Sun Tree? Is that what it's called? Where they're all hanging there, and Matt's describing each person and what they're wearing, and it's either Laura or Marisha. I can't remember which one it is, but one of them figures it out first that it's them that's hanging there. That's such a good like revealing moment, which I think works better on the table than on the animation because you know, him describing it very slowly and then just kind of like trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden it clicks, rather than you just go there and you see it and you're like, it's pretty obvious when you look at it what it's supposed to be.
In the city. So it's like his story has a way better chance of surviving historically. In addition to the deal he made with the fucking Lord of the Hells to never be forgotten.
Yeah, can we also just like, I'm gonna barf compliments on Luis for a second.
We'll get the experience of being mind-blown. The asshole we were taught to hate for years turns out to be another victim.
Surely,
True.
surely
Great, no.
will pick on someone
barking.
else to
Good lad.
start the story. But instead,
I thought
he threw you into the labyrinthian
The Sun Tree scene is haunting. Yeah, definitely.
And madness, and I was like, well, that's one way to have someone never come back and play this again. But you just smashed it. Like,
Great.
How did it feel to start with
Wait, Demi, stop.
hells kicking off the whole thing?
I've just been watching it. You're sitting there going, in his face, and then going, I'm not winding him up.
But before I wasn't.
Just sat watching the
Before
corner of the
I
eye.
wasn't.
Yeah, and then you stopped, and then all of a sudden, he goes, and then that wasn't me. I wasn't winding him up. I wasn't just pretending to punch him.
I mean, before I was playing.
How'd that go?
I don't even know how. You could have fucked up so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it was such high stakes.
For sure.
It was the beginning of a four-part thing. You could have fucked
Or
up
you
the
could just tell him
whole
no.
thing.
Like a normal person.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's like the old movie line where you're like, well, that's one way to go. Like,
I think Percy figures it out first, but he doesn't react as obvious as Marisha, and lets Matt keep going. I need to watch that like properly.
I think before we started, I think I just went to Lou and I was like, so, I mean, we're about to start, right? Yeah. And then you had said, oh, he usually, starts off with like vignettes, like a spotlight on each character. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she's not going to start with me. I have no idea until partway through. And I think you see my face kind of go, do something. And I was like, oh, okay, we're here.
I do love the added tidbit of the animated show, the ropes creaking into the credits. It's haunting is what it
One of the
is.
things that I had asked
Very haunting.
Brennan for was I wanted to have an encounter with a betrayer god because I didn't know where in the Calamity this was gonna take place.
Weird request.
I know, but I wanted to see
Wish
what would
granted,
happen.
baby. Yeah.
Redemption, paladin to the extreme, with confronting a betrayer god, and I wanted.
Yeah, I've also seen that from animated show at the table.
In a more intimate way, I just thought I would see a betrayer.
Like someone was saying, Liam is very much in character constantly. Even then,
that would be how my character probably dies. And then it was here's this dream and this really intimate. Like I didn't know I was gonna care for them. I didn't know what betrayer god we were gonna meet, and I didn't know I was gonna care for them the way that.
Yeah, it's when she like hits the floor and he's like, so how much health? It's you take so much damage. 0. It's like and then he goes on to describe her lifeless body falling to the floor.
God. That unfolded, and one of the things. Just talk a little bit more about Xerxes for a moment. There's one sort of hidden thing that I had incorporated into him, the way he sees the world, and that he establishes attachments fast, which I was surprised that it wasn't a red flag to people because he falls in love with Evandrin immediately, and then he meets this kid and he's like, "You're my son," immediately. So he creates intense attachments fast, and then here we are having a meeting with.
He hasn't been through it again, has he?
betrayer god in this really intimate way, and I was like, okay,
You know you're not
attachment
supposed to do that.
created.
That's really good.
But also, we couldn't see it. Like, we didn't
You-
see any of
Yeah.
that happening. I mean, we were
No,
at the
you-
table watching it, and when you're
No.
like, I'm going to redeem him. We were like, that's definitely not the thing.
That is the
we
second
did. I'm so glad
goddamn
you're doing
charger,
it.
woman.
The reaction corners just being like, what?
We were losing
When
our
you came
shit.
out of the thing.
Yeah,
and
does
we-
that
and
drop
we
you
just
below
kinda,
zero?
like, we were leaving.
Yeah.
It was just like, I guess we gotta go. We gotta all.
Such
meet
a good
up
moment.
to go fight Lucretia. There was like,
Get
the,
off.
like PC versus
right, you said
actual me moment of being like, hey dog, you gonna tell me? You gonna tell me that crazy thing that is happening there? And then time just kept going on, and there's like,
Ray.
I guess he's not. He's not gonna tell me that it was cuddling a betrayer god. While I was I was just standing outside the door, being like, shit, man, we gotta go. Like,
And it will still say the instinct behind it predominantly was paternal.
Yeah.
But I can see how it can become all kind. I mean, like Elias and Evandrin. You know, like Elias grown up looks like Evandrin, and so it was super fucking confusing to be like, you're so tender and caring, and also receptive of any intimacy that comes from me, whether it's paternal or so much confused romantic.
It was so cool, but it was also
This is so
it was. I mean, it was just wild to watch because those choices are unexpected, unusual.
Just next to
At
me
one
wires, I'm
point
just
in-
making
I
sure he
feel
doesn't
like in
eat
the
them.
first game, at one point I was like, wait, maybe Luis just didn't hear him. Maybe he didn't hear Brennan that this is a
This is the Lord of Hell.
Yeah, it's a red guy with big horns. Maybe
Big horns.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't notice.
Hard of hearing or something. Maybe he missed it.
Listen, I just need to say, you know, like
That's a true redemption paladin for you.
in terms of everyone, like everyone's character was so truthful to the thing they had said at the outset. In terms of plot, blighting that fucking tree and pulling that devil through the fucking portal.
Oh my god.
Hey, as all the bad guys, thank you, because truly, from a storytelling perspective, I needed it. I was like,
Yeah,
this is
you
incredible.
almost licked your lips when he did it.
By the way,
He was
someone
like,
made a
"I'm gonna pull
9-part
through it." I
musical
said,
score of Calamity with some creative art to accompany it. It's incredibly good. Highly recommend it. Oh,
I had
awesome.
trouble with that as a person.
I'll give it a look after this.
Luis, what the fuck are you doing?
You all are dead.
Jump, do whatever fucking mental loopholes you need to jump through to get on fucking Team Save the World. Like, what is this shit?
I will say my favorite part was watching, like, because that second, when you were being an Oracle meeting with the Lord of Hells, watching Brennan start that super neutrally, and the moment you like fed him compassion, there's nothing more fun than watching a DM dial in like, got it.
Yeah.
And then like you watch the entire encounter change to feed you the thing that Xerxes was already like. There's something so beautiful about the way you like stated everything, which was never like asking anything of him or inciting or doubting it. You were feeding him what he wanted him to tell you.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was bounce it back at you. And it was just the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen, because I was like, oh, I understand exactly why a person like Xerxes in this moment would do that and get that back. And it's just this horrifying feedback loop.
And
100%.
why it would never occur to him to try to challenge that by doing
Yes.
mechanically an insight check, or didn't do a zone of truth there. Not that it would have worked on the
Not
Lord of
point.
Hells,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't. He didn't. You know, he tried to do a bunch of things, remove curse, a bunch of stuff that I knew would fail, but he was going to try to do.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I love that
yeah.
commitment.
but I think it's also like, I mean, the Lord of the Hells. It's like evil. It's like the most evil, the evilest, right? And what is?
Yeah,
what
when
is
she
more
scorched the
evil
tree, it was,
in terms of
"What are you
being a
doing, woman?
liar, the god of lies?"
Don't touch that
Trickster
tree."
is one of his
Literally.
domains, is like, no, I don't.
That was a brutal scene, that though.
Flim flam.
If they do make an animated movie or series of it, that scene is going to be a highlight for me to watch.
You know, you find somebody who already wants it.
The 1
and you
second.
go, is there something that you'd really
I'm
like
curious as to how they're going to do that.
I'm not gonna. How much does the devil even lie in those couple scenes? He mostly, you say stuff. You're like, the prime deities, they did this to you, and Homeboy's like, yeah, sure, man. Yep. You know, like, yeah, that works for me.
It was
you know, like, it's so much.
good.
It's so much him just like letting you walk to where he wants you to walk.
And it was such a chilling take to see, to hear you do
Yes.
the devil going like, I never know what I'm gonna look like to people.
Yeah.
Just nonchalant,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
chills up my back.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to do this. Doesn't want to be here. Is
I'm
over
sorry.
it. Not conniving. Not
Yeah.
arch.
Sorry about my bad breath.
Oh.
Yeah.
2 hour movie, an hour and a half is that
It's the
1
most-
second,
you
Tim.
did a
It
lot of
literally could be.
terrifying things this entire campaign, but that was the most terrifying.
If Bowler
And
isn't
Lion,
a highlighted
if-
character,
I didn't say.
don't bother making it.
There was a part of me that was like, I just saw something that Brennan is capable of.
Yes.
Yeah, he's feeling sorry for himself.
About the person?
Respect earned.
Well, I'm glad that Brennan is like a
Elevated.
good, an incredibly good and moral person to his core, because you're very intelligent, and I'm like, oh, he can.
But
tap
Tim, you
into,
are
like, this
Bolo.
weird
Oh, you're so
manipulation
lucky.
Aspect.
But
that
I can only
is
dream.
horrifying.
Only
That's
dream to be Bolo.
I mean, well, that's the thing is that type of like what's so scary about manipulators is that they actually have. There's a whole thing in the.
I love players who
there's a
commit to
whole
clearly
article
wrong
about
things to
neurology.
do when it's what
It
their
literally
characters
says,
would
like,
do.
that
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what we were discussing
behavior,
before.
It's like high cognitive empathy,
Yeah.
low emotion.
It's got
in other words, you don't
what,
feel
20
it when
minutes
you
left.
hurt people, but you know what will hurt people.
Right.
Probably being
And it's like
extremely
those
slow
type of
motion
people
shot
have
from Xerxes' point of view.
profound
Yeah, more than likely.
understanding. Like the idea of like, no, I really get you, and I know what I need to say.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like,
had
it's so much better when, even though, like you say, you know it's wrong and you know it's not going to work and you know it's something that could possibly get your character killed or, God forbid, get another character killed, which I'm sure they'll not be happy about that. But to do it because you know it's motivated for your character and you know in their mind they would want to do that, even though you're sitting there thinking, as a player, you're like, I really shouldn't do this because it ain't going to work. Or I shouldn't really look in here because I know there's nothing and I know it's going to be a trap. But your character's just a kleptomaniac. He can't help but take things. And you're like, it's a mimic. I know it's a mimic. If I touch it, it's going to jump up and it's going to eat my face off. But my character wants it, so he's going to go for it. And then bam, mimic jumps up, eats your face off. You knew it. Your character's now dead. What are you going to do? You start again.
So there was so much stuff we didn't have time to get to with even in all the hours of that long finale. But I had I spent a lot of time thinking about the Lord of the Hells and what he.
Most of those 2 hours were a ton of dice rolls
And
with
there
different
was a
effects that are
thing
quickly
of, like, if it ever
depicted in
had
visual
been a long
medium. Yeah,
conversation
exactly.
After his turning on you.
That's the
of
difference.
you
It's
being like, of like what was a lie and
it's
what was
interesting.
Very little
I love
of what
everything to do with like
said was a lie. There were some
movie
lies in there,
making
very
and
said, but when
role
he
playing and
showed
stuff
up
like that.
to
So
be wounded,
all that kind of stuff
that's
just
that's the manipulation.
it's so interesting to me to think
of
about.
him showing up injured because and I remember the line I had for him.
It's a
was
shame the other
the-
two Xus are full of
yeah,
box
I
macking the
appeared to
spoilers.
you
That'll be the next recommendation
injured.
for you to watch.
Because you guys
I
love it.
almost started the wrong one when I first started Exandria Calamity.
Like you love it when people hurt.
Because I noticed somebody was like, oh yeah, Brennan's the DM, and I started it, and a Bria came on the screen, and I was like,
And
well, that doesn't look like a
having that
Brennan.
thing of him being like,
It's like-
you guys are the ones who are fucked
different
up.
race, different sex.
And he's wrong and
I think
evil,
I'm watching the wrong
but
one.
it was
Lo and behold, I was.
It was like finding what he hates about mortals was very fun. And if I scared anyone,
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
It may not be a mimic. There is only a 99% chance that it's a mimic. I'm taking that 1% chance. I need the book. I need it. And I'm, like I said, base gone.
I know, it fucks with your head.
Yeah, I switched it. I love it. It's very good.
We've been talking for a little bit, and as everyone can see, our mic packs are starting to the batteries are starting to eat it. But a few more questions before we wrap it up, but I do desperately want to know, Brennan, did you have any contingency plans should the end of the world not come about as expected?
I had so many contingency plans. There was a whole plot about the Septarian coming after you guys.
Oh,
I had
and the wizards.
in a world. Yeah, I had to. Well, we only had 4 episodes, so there was a ton of planning. I had all like people talk about like in terms of rails. There were a bunch of railroads you guys could have gone. And those rails just we won't ever
Get
get
plans
to.
on
But
plans
in a-
on plans
in a
on
world
plans.
Where you guys see shit starting to go wrong, and not even all of you, but just one of you goes.
Funny
to
enough,
the
my DM has
Septarian,
only
or someone
done one
goes,
mimic,
"Hey,
and
we
it was a
should learn
wizard's spell book.
other
It
things."
protected his knowledge.
Or
Ooh,
especially
pretty cool.
a case where you all
I like
go to
that.
Sapphire and say something wrong is happening here and try to get the city on your side. They were going to declare you guys fugitives, and there was going to be a whole thing of them coming after you.
I thought about it for a second.
Bloody
'cause there was
dog.
someone that the senior site warden reports to, and I was like,
Hey,
nah, if I don't trust these people, I certainly don't trust that list of people like somebody the wise, somebody the beard, somebody the beard.
In terms of the various contingencies, yeah, there were a ton. But in terms of you guys averting the calamity, those contingencies are kind of the most boring one. Like in the ones where you don't blight the tree, you don't pull the Lord of the Hells in, then it's like, yeah, Vespin rolls up and the taxmen go evil, and then it's a fight at the tree. Or, you know, if you don't pull the Lord of the Hells through, then it's like only Vespin can come through, but he pulls in some devils and they like kill Xerxes, and you know, like it's like most of the contingencies for you guys are less responsible for the calamity is brute force. Something comes in, they use the artifacts from Orwin's office, they use the blood they got from you, some other thing happens. You guys managed to, like, you know,
he's too good.
Jury rig the helm and stop the city, but then the sun rises and you turn, and you know, so it's like all this. There's like all this stuff, right? That like, weirdly, the contingencies for that were like some of the most simple ones. Other contingencies.
But I don't think I'm going to do mimics anytime soon as a DM. I'm heavily considering a bag of devouring.
That final combat.
The fuck is a bag of devouring? Is that just a bag mimic?
For example, there were a bunch of like you guys holding the taxmen in that first round at the door.
Stop it. Oh, he's got it off, sorry.
That was like
But
huge.
you're fighting the
That last battle was everyone was so fucking good. The inspiration.
a bag.
We gotta talk about that.
Superficially remembering a bag of Holland, but is a feeding orifice for a gigantic extra-dimensional creature.
That moment at the end with
Turning the bag inside out and closing the. Oh my god! Why? That's so evil.
What happened if Laren died?
That's so evil.
I was totally prepared for Laren to go down in that last final fight, which was essentially that someone was going to have to make a, you know, unreal, impossible DC Arcana check with disadvantage
to figure out her work.
To try to complete the last couple. And if that probably would have been loquacious, which would have been very.
I tend to only start using mimics if running a party that only cares about gold and treasure. A little humility goes a long way. True.
No, 100%.
They'll start second guessing everything.
But wait, that final was. Oh, wait, hold on. That final roll.
Oh, that nat 20, man.
Been done without
Unreal.
Without the buff. Of course. I mean.
That's right. We were all just throwing everything we had to just like get Sarah out.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was just so good. At least just from my chair, because he had done all the things he needed to do for his kids. He had atoned in that way, let all that stuff go, focused on the thing, killed the thing, but it wasn't done. Like, could he get out and leave? And it
Link.
only
There will
would
be no
happen-
links in
it
my
only could
chats.
happen
Thank you very
because of
much.
the Ring of Brass. He couldn't do it by himself.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So,
By all
that
means,
was
link it.
just so
I'm only joking.
fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
one little spark of
one
hope
of those
at the end.
things
Don't tell them.
takes the whole table.
And it
you know?
wasn't
matters
guaranteed.
Yeah, my nose.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not. That wasn't in the.
Without that 8.
Yep.
You've got goosebumps just from
Yeah,
hearing them
without
talk
that
about the
eight,
roll.
there's no
It's
world
insane. It was so good.
Yeah.
Such a good moment.
He goes down with everybody else.
And I mean, realistically, too, we still don't really have any idea. Like, did Sarah make it back to his kids?
He knows Guessar. That's all he knows.
Guessar, yes. Someone.
Travis always gets the best nat 20s.
World's greatest detective.
This killing his uncle and one more that's a spoiler, so my lips were sealed. Ooh, is that for campaign 2?
University of Arcane Wizard, like, you know.
Yeah.
Travis, when you texted me, and you were like, "What did you
Oh.
just do to my?"
So when he killed his uncle, so that was a natural 20 as well. Insane. I never knew that because I've never seen the actual tabletop version of it.
Daughter.
Yeah, because for a moment there you were like, and I send it.
I mean, the
to-
way he kills him
I
in the
hadn't
show,
picked up on
which
what
obviously
was
is the way
done.
he
I didn't
kills
know
him
the
on the
culmination
table, is
of
absolutely
the
nuts. So
culmination of knowledge of Avalir
Yeah,
that you sent
yeah.
it to her, and I was like, this bitch is fucking with my daughter. There's no limit to her evil. Oh wait, it's way, way better than that.
Yeah. But I mean, to be
The
fair,
Kevdak
like,
kill was
I don't know,
wild
like,
in game.
Because in part of
I could
my
well imagine. I'm gonna have to search it up
Nitro
after this.
was like, what if we
I need to
hadn't
see it.
lost the Library of Alexandria? What if we had a record of all of that and all of this knowledge just hadn't been lost? And I kind of like, I've asked Matt since then as well. I'm like, where's my orb?
Yeah.
Is the orb still around?
Yeah.
Where is it?
There is something that me and Abria
We're all thinking
are
about the same
only-
one.
at
Which
this
one?
moment,
Ah,
at this moment, the only
so
people
I've got
in
the
world
mystery
who
of the
have
chair, and
experience
now
of,
this
which
epic
is
moment that
the
Travis
camera
does.
stops rolling, and suddenly cannon leaves you.
Yeah.
And I immediately wanted to run and find Matt and be like, "Is the orb okay?" Like, I'm not. I don't.
Bex
have any say
Pokemon him
anymore.
into the necklace and dropping him from height onto Kevdak was fucking awesome. It truly, truly was.
You'll get the moment, Brennan. At some point, it will pop, like something will pop up in C3, and you'll just be there and be like, "It happened and it mattered. It happened and it mattered." Why do we tell stories?
I saw this fan theory that is 100% just a fan theory, but I kind of like it. That
I saw it too.
did you
Yeah.
see this one?
I don't know what
That
you're talking
like, and once again, all fan, not canon, but that the library going to the daughter
Yeah.
of a master detective and then getting all of this library information was like the origin of the Cobalt Research. And like this was like this, yes, that Harper's knowledge, and I know, I
Other
know.
like, you know, powerful.
That structures and
Neutral.
If that ends up being true, we came up with that idea. This fan did not do it.
This fan is Sam. He did it. He commented under an alias.
Like there was someone else running something later in the Calamity, coming back and playing either like Kier or Maya as an adult would be so fucking
Someone write that
sick.
down.
Yes.
In the
Adult Kier in my mind is jacked. He's fucking huge, dude. Fucking huge, man.
Here, is that you? Yeah, I found protein shakes.
Talent 2 now.
Like a
Talent
wispy
fucking
mustache.
6.
A lot of acne.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There was something we were talking about in terms of like the sort of how everyone here bookended everything. Everything got bookended so well. The 31 investigation for Vespin, the 31 investigation to get back to your family.
Goddamn.
And so fucking good. And I also too, I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, the 31 as well. That was insane.
That were like.
I'm so
just
glad he
important
managed to get
me
that.
To do as a DM and also kind of as a storyteller for like the kinds of stories we tell. In a short story, it's always there are certain.
Yeah,
things
I'm
that come
not
through
not
that
sure what the
feel
Cobalt Soul is, and I'm not
like,
sure if I've
because
seen
this-
that
because the
before. So
story
I'm.
says this,
Everybody's
story
getting hyped
is
over the theory, and I'm just like, yeah, that'd be
right?
so cool,
and
guys.
the story is like making a
That'd be
comeback on how it
awesome.
works. And so it was something in terms of the book ending of it all. It was really significant to me that Laren used her lay right to save Exandria, and that Xerxes used his cleansing.
I haven't seen it.
redemption
Okay,
power
that makes more
to
sense.
get
I was
Vespin
thinking in
back.
my house, like, what the fuck's
Because,
the?
because I didn't want.
I don't know what that
the
is.
story to
What's the
say
Cobalt Soul? I don't know.
Science is bad and innovation is bad.
Yeah, and compassion
is bad.
Yeah.
It was like I wanted the story to say something more like nuanced. Of like, it was bad or like bad. It didn't work in this instance for these reasons. It didn't work in this instance for these reasons. Rather than making this big thing. And the fact that both of you guys, after blighting the tree or after pulling the Lord of the Hells through, got to say, here is a chance to show what I mean by this. Was like very
Did the Cobalt Souls show up in Vasselheim? I'm gonna leave that for somebody else to answer because I truly do not remember.
Speaking of poetry,
And I don't want to search up anything just on the off chance I get some sort of lore spoiled for me.
The entire time.
I
100%.
think we've texted about ourselves.
Fan favorite, standout NPC, stole the show. Brennan, is Bolo okay? What happened to Bolo from Aor?
I don't like her.
What happened to Bolo?
You know,
I love her. She was my favorite.
Sometimes
She was like a
PC
father
will
to me.
gift you with an NPC, and Sometimes a PC will gift another PC with an NPC. Sometimes Bria will say, "Did you have a +1?" And Sam will go, "That absolutely makes sense." Sure. And then what'll happen is
I said that'd be no problem.
Yeah. And then what'll happen is that PC will, name that NPC. And sometimes they'll just reach down into the top hat and see if a rabbit comes out, and a rabbit doesn't come out. What comes out is Bola.
Just
Bolo.
such a good character,
and then what
man.
you get to do is conscript Matt Mercer into doing Slavic accents for any Aeorians.
Yes! Canon accepted.
My name is.
I don't know why in that moment, but I had to, it was, we were improvising it, and there you go, and that's Bolo. Bolo's dead.
Bolo is dead. Everything blew up. She's the only survivor. She's gonna be the big bad at the end.
Or not the way you think. She dies 12 hours later because she gets hit by a wagon. No. She teleports. Which one is it? Which one is it? No. Or
Bolo, the possible polymorph dragon. That would be an amazing theory. That would be so good if it was.
During the chaos and finds a necessary piece of arcanotech for Aor's later work with all of the shady things that we know that they were working on.
Absolutely.
Right?
Threshold crest.
Threshold crest, Godhammer, anything, right? Or there's also a world where maybe Bolo was a polymorph dragon and she just flew away.
Who was this bitch?
Oh, I would love that theory. That'd be so good.
Eventually.
This your house is the most important.
This your house.
Not a question, not a statement. Just words.
She can't be a polymorph dragon. She couldn't be.
Why not?
She doesn't know how to ask. She doesn't know how to get a beer from a Hatmadar.
Not all dragons.
How many beers are dragons out here?
Hundreds.
Beer dragons just rolling up to the bar. Excuse me, might I have a pint of ale? No, everything. If you actually kind of think about it, the dragon theory kind of makes a lot of sense. There's kind of a part of it that makes a lot of sense.
Brennan, don't. Dude, you're giving me too much hope about this theory now.
She doesn't know how to get drinks. She wants to be a reporter eventually. Those are all the things we know about Buffalo.
Cerritos Groupon. Was she a dragon?
Yeah, didn't Cerritos Groupon make an inside check on Bolo? Didn't you follow her to the
I think I was so stunned by Bola's inherent beauty. And
Turns out Travis knows everything. Matt and Travis and Brennan are just having this little theory, having this little chat about Bolo.
Sam, you were fucking a dragon.
Hey, man, let me be clear. I will happily allow that. You just put that on the
These
wall.
draconic sorcerers have to come
There's an
from somewhere,
innkeeper with a Slavic accent in my game, and I love playing him. Love the accent's so fun to do. I will imagine.
Yeah, there you go.
You get so much freedom when you play this game. It's great.
Our progenitor, Bola.
Jesus.
Oh
my god. Well.
Dragon fucking. Thanks, folks.
Yeah. Long live Bolo.
That bloody dog.
Long may she reign.
A polymorph dragon, which
thank you
is kept us
guys
covered by
so
pretending to be
much
dumb.
For doing this. This was truly the most special.
I want that
also
theory
wanna
to be
give a
real
big
so
shout out
bad
to our
now.
production crew,
I want them to show up.
There were so many amazing little points of genius that I hope people have pointed out on, from everything from the graphics.
The overlay.
The overlay, yeah. I saw a few people notice it.
Wild detail.
Yeah, over time, the overlay was slowly degrading and cracking, and little Easter eggs. All
I
the
never
incredible
noticed that.
art that we had done just across the board. Wanted to shout out from everyone from top to bottom. It really felt like just such.
This town man playing like Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Ah, rest in peace, Andre Brower, my man.
Behind the camera as well, so it was absolutely incredible. And yeah.
Of course, Sam plays the bard who seduces the dragon. Of course.
But is it?
Yeah, we died.
It doesn't really feel.
It's not. It's not.
We're done.
It's not. I don't think it's.
I think
the end.
Sam just
Again,
seduces everything with those characters.
Returns, right?
Yeah.
Are you saying we
Gracious
can come
parents,
back?
the matron of ravens.
Oh,
I have so
Marcella.
many other questions.
Calamity
There's
is
so much
here.
more to explore.
Yeah.
Calamity is
It's
not.
gonna be like a Shrek situation with
No.
Donkey and the
So we all
dragon.
lived through it. We're fine.
Yes.
No, okay, so 5 of you are fucking dead, and that's what the dice said. Okay?
Bolo's alive.
Bolo is 100% alive, unless she was dead the whole time. She's undead.
Yeah. Oh,
Too many theories. There's too many theories.
Oh, so dramatic.
Thank you guys
She was
so
an
much.
undead
Thank you
polymorph
to
dragon.
everyone watching at home. We love you. And is it Thursday?
Yay!
Yay!
Well played. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh god, we've been streaming for just over 3 hours. Banging. So that was great. Yeah. Why would you say that? But that, oh no, don't say that. I can't even say that now. It's just depressing. But that's just a theory. Because the guy that did that channel is left YouTube now. No, nothing that dramatic. No, he like had that as his job for like 10, 12 years, and it's been like nothing but that constantly. So he's basically leaving. No, he's just leaving the channel to like spend time with his family and all that. I think he's still like doing the channel. He's just doing like the behind the scenes stuff. So I mean, Sam's characters in C2 has like 3 charisma. So they're not just seducing anyone. Yeah, but what's his other stats? Maybe he's seducing them by other ways. He's not sweet talking them anymore. He's just, well, he's just Sam. He's just Sam Regal. That's all he needs to be, baby. That's all he needs to be. Is the food nearly done, is it? Food nearly done, is it? Cool. Matt Pat is a legend. He truly is. He truly, truly is. Yeah, now you guys have just got me thinking, like, what's this chess situation? That's my biggest theory right now. I have no idea what that's all about. I've got this other Nat 20 that Travis is going to pull out his ass at some point, which sounds like it's going to be an epic moment. I'm Scottish. Oh, I'll check it out now. Cav deck. No, I don't want the reaction. I want...
I can talk again. For free.
I mean, not really. I'm still streaming.
Big hairy.
Who do you think you are?
42.
Is it this one? All right, let's have a look.
Oh,
Grog defeats Cav deck. Calm down. Oh, no, I'm not even showing you guys. There we go.
21 damage. How do you want to do that?
Oh, okay. Let's start that again.
42 brings it to 21 damage. How do you want to do that?
Getting those words must be therapeutic.
Looks up just in time to see you streaking down. What do you do?
I say, for stranger! And I sink the axe right into his neck and pot him perfectly down the middle.
42 brings it to 20.
That, like I said, that must be the greatest feeling in the world to hear the words. So how do you want to do this? Especially after like a really strong warrior, a really strong villain that you're fighting. Yeah, that was literally just the moment. Yeah, everything. I did get the tabletop version where it showed you both parts. Let's see if that was back on there.
I'm gonna fly down, and I'm gonna shout, "Grog, raise your arm!" And I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna hit his hand with the Pokeball.
We're doing this? Scoot by here?
Doing
Yeah.
You can do this. As you swish up, which you've already said you're going to do, You fly up and you reach down.
With the
you-
locket and I hit.
With the locket, you hand over to him. Do
I
you
don't hand it to him.
Okay. You just hold it there?
I'm putting grog in the fucking locket.
Also, you got to start and finish all of campaign 2 before you stop the stream. Remember? Oh yeah. All right, I'll do
I misunderstood what you were trying to do.
a streamathon.
All right, so
For every member and subscriber I get, I'll add an extra 5 minutes onto it. Start to 24 hours.
Yeah. So, Grog, you willing?
Full 24 hours of just campaign 2.
And with that, as you reach down and touch.
I mean, it'd be a good way to get through a good chunk of it, I guess.
You see Grog's form shimmer for a second into dark shadow and then vanish in.
Shiver and queef. Top moment.
As you stand there now, bleeding profusely, holding. The
Shiver and
necklace
queef?
That holds Grog. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fly over right above Kevdak. Like a good 50 feet.
Yeah, it's 50. All right.
I'm gonna poke a
I
ball.
finished C1 and C2 in 2 months. Not completing C2 in a month means admitting weakness. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. I'm weak.
All right.
Aren't you at death's door?
Yeah.
I'll say essentially because you held your action last
Yeah,
turn.
I know about the old shiver and queef. It's a great moment.
Point here. So, Grog, you were released.
I do have a Twitch Prime I could
Falling
use. Oh
down
god.
To land at.
You fool, you underestimate my ability to make new accounts and fraudulently pay memberships. Oh god.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Tim, I would actually see that from you, dude.
I'll get attack advantages against you again.
Up to you.
Don't worry, I'm not big enough Nelly to be like, oh yes, I'll add 5 minutes every time I get a membership. It'd be more like I add a half hour every time I get a membership.
You guys stopped it.
That's a 20.
And that's why you did reckless.
If anything.
All right, so go ahead and roll damage on it. 42 means it is 21 damage.
Oh, this is it?
How do you want to do
So I'm like so late, but hello everyone. Ranger, you literally just caught the back end of the stream, but you're always a welcome sight, my friend.
Bleeding and shaking, you appear and dive down in silence.
Oh my god!
A whole square coming towards you as Kevdak, clutching in the one nearly ruined arm, the other arm that you bisected, is turning the corner, about to open the door to dive into the house to avoid it. Looks up just in time to see you streaking down. What do you do?
I say, for stranger! And I sink the axe right into his neck and pot him perfectly down the middle.
With the sheer force of the blow, the weight behind it, and the intent, the axe hits him right in the side of the neck, cleaves off part of his ear, shaves off part of his skin here, exposing the jawbone, hits here, breaks the clavicle, tears through it, and every single rib is destroyed. It cuts right through the center of this giant body until it gets to about the midsection where it catches finally. The upper torso just splits open and just covers you with gore. However, you still impact as you shout. The blow, in a very Superman versus Doomsday way, cleaves him in half, and as you slam into the ground, you pull the axe free as your shattered leg bones give under and you
In the
fall
beginning of the
to
stream, I
ground.
mentioned an edit of Serpentious that I made. Did you miss a message or did you not? You want your neighborhood blown out by me. Sounds weirdly sexual, but... This is my last resort. Right, let me give a quick look at the... Can I... Yes. Yes, you may. So, what's your name?
He's basically my favorite.
Turn my life into pieces. This is my last resort. I don't know. I'll have a look in a moment. All right, y'all ready? Man, am I talented? It coming to 5 minutes left. I know you're so lucky. You're so talented, man. If your talent is to be goddamn useless. I'm joking, dude. I'm joking, of course. I love you. Please don't leave me. I can't deal with that. I'll cry. Rest in paradise, my friend. Quite literally. Thank God he went to heaven, because if he had just died, I would have cried. I genuinely would have cried. Yeah, not a problem at all. I'm ending the stream anyways. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for every single one of you guys that have joined in the streams. The stream. Like I said, it has been a pleasure, and I cannot wait to see you guys again. So, yeah, have fun, and I'll catch you all in the next one.